This is Govs Radio.
Govs Radio.
Okay. Okay, let's just do that for right now.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Live from the Governor's Green Room right here at the world famous Governor's Comedy Club in Levittown. What a great night tonight. It's not too late to come down here and catch it. David Tell will be performing tonight and the main stage, and out on the patio we also have a ton of great comedians. Olga Namer will be there, and also our good friend here, Stephen Perillo.
Steve Rocco.
Steve Rocco.
I will give you one pass.
Steve Rocco Perillo. But you know, Steve Rocco Perillo.
Yes.
I like you, and I like your comedy. But you went like down a few notches when you told me that you never heard of Sam Kinison.
You know what?
Recently.
Not recently. It was like 8 years ago I found out about Sam Kinison. I'm just not a big stand-up comedy nerd. You know what I'm saying? Like. Plus, like, Sam was already dead by the time freaking I already started. You know what I'm saying?
When did Sam died in the 90s? I think the mid 90s. I would like to say, but he was like one of those historical figures in comedy, and I think I think it's important for comedians to know the origins, where it started. Don't you think that now?
It's good to be worldly. Like I was mentioning before we were off the air, I'm not a very worldly person. I'm more of an underworldly person. You know what I'm saying? But as I started doing stand-up comedy more and more and more, I know that you have to be more knowledgeable of what's out there, so you're not like stepping on other people's toes. Like when I started, like you said before, I didn't know about Sam, and people were comparing me to Sam because I dress very similar to him. But this is not I'm not trying to copy Kinison at all. Like we're very different in style. I'm more of an alternative goth comedian,
right? Yeah,
and he was more of a funny comedian.
Yeah, I mean, trench coats aside, I never would have put you two in the same category,
right?
But you do wear the trench coat, and I think at times.
And this is like how I dress every day. This is not like an act I put on.
I will vouch for you on that.
Yeah, like when I go for walks in the cemetery, this is how I dress.
Yeah, I mean, what better way? That's how I dress when I go take walks through the cemetery.
Exactly.
And that's how I prepare for a comedy show. I walk through a cemetery.
Yes.
And that's actually what you do.
I was just there. I was at Pine Lawn Cemetery.
In all seriousness, that is actually what you do.
Yes. Well, I have to keep up appearances because they follow me on Instagram. I don't know if you know that. Pine Lawn Cemetery actually follows me on Instagram.
Really?
You can fact check me. I am not making this up.
See, so you have
which is the funniest thing. They have 1,000 like followers, and they're only following like 30 people, and I'm one of them.
Wow.
Yes. For the longest time, though, I was the only person they were following. It looked like I was managing the account.
You're like, am I an admin? And I don't even know it.
And then one time, first of all, this was the funniest thing on the planet. And every day, I was obsessed with this. That I was the only person they were following. And I would check every day, am I still the only person? Am I still And then one time, they unfollowed me. They were back to zero.
Wow.
And I inboxed them. I slid into their DMs.
That's it.
I'm like, why did you unfollow me? Is it something I posted? I am so sorry. Then like this is a true conversation. And then I just like, well, it was fun while it lasted. Then like a week went by. I'm like, please take me back. And then they followed me again. So now I am
headlining there this weekend at the Pine Lawn Cemetery.
Yes, and the Grand Mausoleum across the street on the other side of Wellwood.
There you go. You really killed him. You killed him.
What does that do for you? Like, why go to the cemetery and the day you have a comedy show?
Well, first of all, I go. If you ever been to Pineville, it's a beautiful. It's also an arboretum. It's like they have a lot of trees and like plantation and what not plantation,
So
like
they have
vegetation.
Life.
There you
There's
go.
life there.
Like
yeah.
pretty, like when I lived up in Massachusetts, there seemed to be cemeteries throughout the town.
Right.
And people had cemeteries in their backyard. So like I would go on play dates with my kids, and they would ride their bikes through the cemeteries, and people had picnics. Yeah, it was the
Picnics at the cemetery.
Yeah.
Well, people had.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah.
There
it
must
was-
be
it was
relatives
nice.
of yours.
Well, I do have family in Pineland Cemetery, and what I do is I park in the front, and my father's buried all the way in the back, and I walk 2.5 miles to his plot, then I walk back. So it's like 5 miles. If in case if I want to do a little detour to see some other family, I
Sure.
can go 5 to 6 miles. And it's it's good exercise for me. I used to weigh 170 pounds. I'm back to 200. My heaviest was 250. So like during the pandemic and everything, all the gyms were closed. So I put on some weight back, and I'm just trying to lose it again. You know?
Yeah.
And now that the weather's been absolutely great, it's like why not?
2.5 miles each way.
Yes.
So like 5 miles.
Yeah, 5 miles, 6.
That's,
Yeah,
that's
5
good. That
miles
will help you
total.
burn it, especially if you're wearing that.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
I'm sweating just looking at you.
Does anyone ever like use like a razor scooter?
No.
No, I think that would be fun.
Just doing
I would take one of those things. Where
doing
they-
backflips off the fountain.
Yeah.
Well, and speaking of the pandemic, you were one of the people that kept Long Island comedy going.
I did, yes. Not
Yeah.
that many places were. Not, a lot of places closed down. I would like to give a shout out to One Eye Jacks and Bethpage, who was housing open mic nights there almost every day of the week. Well, with the exception of the weekends, because they had other things going on.
Sure.
And it was like I can't thank them enough for just housing us, man. It was great because like you have to remember like it's not just working on your act. It's also like comics like to socialize with each other, and we just had like a common area where we can meet and talk to each other. It was like because it's almost like a brotherhood, you know. When,
Sure.
Like no matter who you were, no matter what level you were at, like we had the governor's guys come down to One Eye Jacks. We had guys who have been on television come down just to work on their act. It's just
Well, yeah,
and you can tell those are the people who really do care. And it does kind of annoy me that when you see people who haven't done anything, like what are you doing? Work on your act. I'm providing a place for you to work on your act, and they haven't. Like, I understand that you are worried about the pandemic.
Right.
You're getting
Yeah.
sick, but no one got sick from this place. No one.
Oh, right.
Like,
Okay.
no one.
Right.
So there was literally no excuse for not showing up.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm with you. I agree. I mean, you have all this time, you may as well work on the act, but at the same time, I'm sure it was tough headspace. I mean, it was such a crazy time that, trying to be funny was probably harder than ever. But at least
not for me. I was fucking. God. For me, business was booming.
What were the
Death
audience?
is on the rise.
Were the people still coming out to see it, or was it just performing to each other?
It was just performing to each other.
Just
And,
working
like,
out.
I would occasionally throw like a little like showcase on a Saturday night, very hush hush, you know.
Right.
I didn't want the SLA come knocking,
Right,
you
of
know.
course.
I don't want them to lose their liquor license.
Right.
Like I would feel like
Yeah.
I would probably get sued by the fucking bar if that was. But no,
good exposure.
yeah.
But you said before we went on the air that you had a good turnout, comedian wise. You had a good 20
Oh
people
yeah,
a night.
like when we first came back, because there was like 2 months we were like on strict lockdown, everything was closed.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Then when we came back, I would have about 20 people coming to the mics,
That's
and
amazing.
I had to keep very close monitor over like capacity. Like the people had to sign up with me ahead of time. If people showed up, I had to like actually turn them away. That's why I was doing 2 a day at one point, so I could do 10 and 10.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people were hungry to do it.
Yeah.
Performers wanted to perform.
Yeah. And eventually, the hype did die down, and now like there's certain days that do better than others. Like even now, like Monday's a good day, Wednesday's a good day, Thursday's kind of light, Friday's pretty good, Tuesday's like hit or miss.
Right.
But that's just shows the dedication that like you can tell who really wants this. The guys that show up.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
and those are the guys who should be like acknowledged, for working hard.
And like you said, no matter what level.
Yeah,
So
no matter
I'm
what.
so-
I had Richie Byrne, Chris Monty came down a few times,
Nice.
Eric Haft, all those
You
guys.
had to turn a tell away, I understand.
Yeah, we were at capacity, Like, sorry, Dave, I had to bump you.
He had the mask on. They didn't recognize him. That's like what happened with Adam Sandler.
Adam
Sandler got turned away from
IHOP?
IHOP.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that story. All right, guys. I hate to do this, but I want to get back to the
No, of
patio because
course.
I am hosting tonight.
Very nice.
Wish me luck, and you
Good
guys
luck.
have a great show tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you, pal.
Steve Perillo,
Steve Rocco.
Steve
Perillo.
Rocco.
Steve
Perillo.
Rocco. Perillo.
Steve Rocco Perillo.
Rocco.
Maybe I'll come back another time and I'll explain why the Rocco is very
Yes, I would
important.
love to know
All
that
right.
story.
Yes,
Take
all right.
care,
Thank you,
man.
pal. Appreciate it, man.
Take care.
All right,
Steve
Steve Rocco
Rocco
Perillo,
Perillo.
ladies and gents.
Who kept
joining us.
Who kept the comedy live here at Governors too, running the streams, the Zoom shows, right?
Yeah, I did a few of those too.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
were working them. I know you were working hard in there.
He's been keeping
Very
busy.
nice.
I'm going to jump back over.
Need
to
us to
this.
wipe this down and spray?
No, I think
you're
I'm
good.
good. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
you're a brave man after Perillo sat there. Rocco Perillo. Steve-
Rocco, he's
Steve Rocco
he's
Perillo.
a pirate, and it's always weird talking to a pirate.
Yeah.
Never know what to say to a pirate.
Is that what that is? A pirate?
I think he's a pirate. I don't know.
I don't. Yeah, I
He
didn't really
looks
know
like,
what that was.
remember the old pirate movies back in the day of like Sinbad and all those guys, and he looks like one of those, like, expect him with a sword and to
Yeah.
kind of infiltrate a ship. I was going to get into that, but then he left. But I think he's a good guy. I like what he did. Like you said,
He's original.
He's original. That's what I was also going to say about his presence, because he was saying that he gets compared to Kinnison because of the trench coat, but I don't agree. I think he has his own unique look.
Absolutely.
I think the only problem with a look like that is people don't realize that it's authentic. That's who he is. People think he's just dressing up for the stage, but
Right.
other than that, like it's a gimmick. It's
not a gimmick
but
at
it's
all.
not a gimmick. That's who he really is. But
Oh, yeah.
I think that's the problem is people perceive it when he first gets on stage. They'll think, "Oh, look at this guy." But he's been working through it. He's won over the local scene here. He's a hard worker, as he
Absolutely.
says.
Yep.
And hey, it's not every comic that takes a stroll through Pine Lawn Cemetery to prepare for a show. So he's definitely a one of a kind in that regard.
Well, I just hope he's not walking, through anybody's picnic as he's strolling through.
Some people have picnics at the cemetery. You gotta love it.
anything to do up there.
Yeah.
Apparently not. Yeah, apparently there was nothing to do up there, which is why you got to come to Governors here on Long Island because, we have cemeteries here too, but there's also comedy clubs.
What's weird is when I used to work for NC State in North Carolina in Raleigh. NC State they're known in the South for big giant tailgate parties that they have.
Right, yes, I've heard that.
And there's been people buried in tailgate sections. So there's like
What?
headstones and full on everything at where they. So if you
What, like in the parking lot?
Yeah, because once you have a spot, they own their parking space, right? Where they
Oh, no
tailgate.
kidding. I didn't know that.
That's how big it is there. So they
Yeah.
own their own parking space, essentially, with their tailgate spot. And they own it for like generations after generations. So if Grandpa passes away and he's this huge NC State fanatic, like most of them are, they bury him there. And so this way, every week when they have a tailgate, his tombstone's right there.
Is it a dirt parking lot?
It's like a dirt and grass parking lot. Yeah, kind of like if you.
I'm
go
picturing
camping.
I'm picturing asphalt.
No, it's
I'm
like
Jackhammer the asphalt so they can bury Grandpa.
it's
What?
like the campsites. You ever go camping
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the trailers? It's similar to that.
Oh,
But it's
okay.
this huge, giant dirt parking lot or like grass and stuff, and everybody owns their own spaces. And it's just like those camping sites. They can plug in and all that
Yeah.
shit. And people go off like huge tailgates.
So you can plug in, you can park, but then you have a little area for the
They have
headstones.
some of them do. There's like maybe 5 or 6 people that have buried their loved ones in their tailgate, which sounds nuts to us Northerners, but to those Southerners, it's like, yeah, wow, that's right, that's Grandpa, man. I love you, Grandpa.
I love you, Grandpa.
Here's a little beer for you, Grandpa. He loved his Budweiser, man.
What is it with Budweiser? My dad drank Budweiser. Like, who drinks Budweiser?
Everybody.
It's the
drinks
king. I one time went to it was called the King of Beers or something. No, World of Beers.
Yeah.
I think they have them everywhere.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Where you get like little shot glasses and you can try them
Yeah, you
like
can
different.
have like a flight, they call it. You can
Yeah.
try different beers.
Yeah.
But I went there and I wasn't really into the craft beer world yet. And I'm at the World of Beers. And the guy asked me what I wanted, and I said, "I'll have
Diet Coke?
Budweiser." No, I said, "I'll have Budweiser," and he goes, "We don't have that here." I go, "This is the World of Beers. You don't have the king of all beer."
King of beers,
I was outraged. The World of Beers, and
They
they don't
have
have
horses.
Budweiser. The king.
right? Clydesdale.
Yeah, they have the Clydesdales. They have all that good stuff. They have frogs. They have the
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at the Super Bowl.
Budweiser.
Yeah.
But they didn't have them.
Here's
at
to
World
good
of Beer.
friends. Tonight is something special. Tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Oh,
Is
nice.
Lowenbrow still exist?
No.
I don't think I've seen
I don't
a
know.
can of Lowenbrow.
My dad used to drink Schlitz.
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 Yeah.
Who says, you know what would be a great name for a beer? Like
Well-
something that rhymes with shits.
Shits.
Yeah.
Well, that's because it's Shea. They had that big Schlitz.
Oh, is that why he
thing.
drank it? Because, he was
In
at
the
Shea.
70s, they had that, right? Wasn't it Schlitz? I think it was. They had the big sign in center field.
Oh
at Shea.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about where to get buried. Maybe I'll get buried at Shea.
Do you
Yeah,
want to
maybe
get
so.
buried? Do you want to get like sprinkled
Actually, yeah,
somewhere?
no, I
or you
wanna
want
get
to be?
I want to get stuffed.
You really do
and
want to be stuffed.
Well, can you stuff me and just put me right here?
You just be sitting there
Right
forever.
here.
Just be like in the back.
I will.
That would be awesome.
I will absolutely stuff you, and I'll bring you everywhere.
And we can just give them clothes changes every holiday. So whatever it is, festive, we'll keep them up. 4th of July is coming up soon.
Yeah.
Get them in some 4th of July. The hat, Uncle Sam.
If I want to get on the highway and have the buddy next to me, so I can use that one
the
lane.
SOV lanes, yeah.
Yeah.
Are they really gonna give me a ticket even though he's dead? I think they wouldn't.
They won't know.
I think they would. Yeah, but I don't think they would. Even if they did pull me over, I'd be like, he died. They'd be like, all right, you don't have to have a ticket.
Exactly.
It's painful enough having to carry around this douche with me everywhere I go.
Wow. So
We'll
yeah,
go food shopping.
City Field would be a good place to get buried. Maybe a titty bar. Parking lot would be a good place to get buried. Oh, here. Yeah. If I have to get buried, bury me right out here.
I want to be
Governors.
buried under the main stage.
Under the main stage.
Just right under the main stage, like Jimmy Hoffa. I think he's under there too.
You
I
do?
wouldn't be surprised. Yeah.
So I'll be right next to Jim Hoffa.
Can you bury me in Joey Cola's backyard?
Well,
He'll probably
maybe
use my seeds or something.
you
yeah.
could be compost in
Right.
his yard. I think he would actually
He'd probably really like that.
appreciate that.
The butterflies would love you.
Yes.
He raises butterflies in his yard. So we got Carrie Ann Gross Rotina is watching, and she says, "Good evening, party people." And what's up, Carrie?
Kevin Epstein, I met him. He came to see you.
He came to see my stand-up.
Yeah.
Ah, very
That was
cool.
Very nice of him. And he lives in Jersey, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He
had
came
a-
all the way from Jersey.
And Arnie Price he
He
misses
misses
me.
you. That's
He
nice.
misses
What's
you.
up, Arnie?
Aw.
Yes, I miss you too, Arnie. We're gonna get you back in one of these days.
And on govsradio.com,
I forgot to not be on Facebook tonight.
Andy Plagano says, like Tiny Tim, leave my prosthetic in the corner after I die. Actually, I have some extras. I should decorate the room with some prosthetic legs.
I saw
Now,
the
if I
golf thing.
sorry to interrupt, but I just need to know for the future. If I stuff you, do you
Yes.
want them to figure out how to give you 2 legs, or you're okay with just half a leg going everywhere?
Put me in shorts and have the stump stick out.
All right.
Oh,
Okay.
no, you don't even want the prosthetic. You just want the stump, just to show everybody.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
We decorate the stump.
I
if
just
you
thought it
want.
was an important question. You never know.
No, I think these are things you need to know now.
Perillo makes you kind of think about that stuff. Kind of plan.
Yeah, he's a very kind of has a sense
Death
of
guy.
morbid about him.
Yeah.
He scares me.
The death guy.
When I walked in, he's just like, "Oh hey, how's everything going?
Yeah. And we're like,
I'm gonna get up there tonight, and I'm going to fucking kill. Then I'm gonna suck a dick."
in a death way. Yeah, he came in and I was like, "Oh, hey, can you can you sit over there? Because, like, Don's going to sit there. And then he just didn't do
Yeah,
it.
he just totally disregarded what Sally said. He sat there. And he stopped. He was just about to sit, right?
And then
Sally
he's like,
goes,
"Fuck
sit
you,
over there, 'cause
Sally."
That's Don's seat. And he just kind of does like this for a second.
What the?
I'm
Yeah,
not gonna
he actually
stay very
touched his
long.
glass for a second. And then he was like, fuck you guys.
I'm not saying that all
I walked
gay
5
guys
miles.
talk like this, but only gay guys talk like this.
They say a cemetery is a great place to pick up men.
He's never coming back in here.
Yeah, no. Nope.
He'll be back. We need a pirate. Pirates of the Penzance.
Oh, goodness. Thanks for the shout out. I'll tell my kids I'm famous. All right.
Yes.
So David Tell has walked by a couple times. We're hoping he's going to walk in here.
I would love for him to come in here.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Michelle Fox is on the stage right now. She's hosting
She
in
is?
there.
All right.
Yeah.
If
She's-
she comes
she's
off,
hosting.
I'll go and yell at her.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully, Michelle Fox comes in here as well. And
Olga, we saw Olga. She said she will come in. Olga Namer. If you don't know who that is, go check her out. She's outrageous.
Olga's funny, man.
She's really funny.
She cracks me up, and she's got some good stuff. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I'm looking forward to talking with her and catching up a little bit because it's been a year, like since we really seen a lot of these people in person.
It's crazy, isn't
I
it?
mean, some we kept in touch with, and, Zoom and the podcast and things like that, but
Wasn't the same.
it wasn't the same. And like Olga, I haven't spoken to since. You know what I'm saying? So that would be cool to see her as well. And who else is out there on the patio? They have a
Marco Asante is out there
oh,
tonight.
Marco Asante.
Marco Asante. Wasn't that just last week where he popped in quick and gave us a little wave and then he kept going?
Oh yeah, that was Marco. Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And he's been on our show years ago. I think within the first 6 months or something. he
3
was on our
years
show.
ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, really long
But
time.
he's a good guy. But he supports our show quite a bit. He does watch from time to time and has some nice things to say. And it was just weird because I didn't even know he was playing tonight. And I emailed him yesterday. I said, it was nice to see you last week. Don't be a stranger. We got to have you back.
You're
It's
like
been too long.
a
And then-
Marco stalker.
Yeah.
I think if we really need to get Marco in here, we just yell Polo, and then he'll find his way. And then all of a sudden,
Perillo will think you're yelling Perillo instead. And he'll come in and yell again. Rocco.
Don't forget the Rocco.
Did somebody call me? I'm just getting ready to go up for another set. I'm gonna fucking kill.
So apparently, like 2 minutes ago, Don decided there's no way this guy's ever going to come back here. I'm just going to go for it.
Maybe if I'm feeling crazy, I'll go to Pine Lawn, then go to Calverton.
Oh, that'd be more of a 5-mile walk at Calverton.
Yeah,
Let me
that's
tell
true.
you.
What's the island?
Takes
of
me
all-
5 miles to find someone in that place.
I see dead people.
And they laugh at my jokes.
Don, you get ready for that hug when I finally see you. It's been since Bald Hill in
Who's
August.
doing that?
Says Andy Plagano.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
yes. I was
We-
almost going to go to the golfing. I was almost. I just couldn't get the time out of the work, but I wanted to go golf with those guys.
You didn't miss anything.
Yeah, no.
I watched some of it on the show, on your guys' show.
Yeah.
Look at
Oh,
having a blast.
I couldn't stop laughing. I
Yeah,
could not
Andy
stop
looked like
laughing.
he wanted to run back in here in our bosom, like just to protect him.
I feel like I didn't see. Did Andy swing it all on camera? I don't think I saw.
Yes.
Andy. Okay.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
we were looking up his shorts, but
Yeah, there were a couple times he put the phone
yeah, he
down.
put the
or
phone down. He's
something.
like, I got to put the phone down to swing, and went right up his shorts.
Twice it happened, yeah.
Like,
'Cause
woohoo!
I feel like Andy. I feel like Andy and Rada might be the only two who actually golfed before.
No, Tim has.
Tim golfs, right? But just not a lot.
I don't know.
Andy said that he hasn't golfed in 3 years.
Yeah. Did any of those guys have their own clubs? Because
Andy did, and
They all
Rich
did, I thought.
obviously. No, not well. Yeah, they do because
Can't you rent them?
Bosie. You
Bosie
can.
barred his clubs, right?
No,
Or-
his
he bought
his
them?
wife asked someone if they like. So he got some like I think some old dead guys clubs, and they pulled out the putter. And remember, like
I got him the clubs.
remember the putter, like no kidding, 40 years ago, where it's just like it's just this silver thing without any ridges in it, like that old of a putter. Like that was his.
Yeah, they look like they
bag.
had a blast, and that's always fun to get out there and and hit the links.
Oh, Tim is now on Facebook, and he said, Andy's on Facebook now. He said Tim uses dad's clubs.
Very nice.
And I think,
that's nice.
And I think Rocco babysat Tim's dad while the other guys were out golfing.
I held him in my hands, and I sprinkled it on my penis. Then I did a seance. I did a seance for Satan, and then I rubbed some of his dad under my eyes, so I could have my, so I could be stage ready. We could be stage ready together, and then it was glamorous. I was ready to kill up there.
Tony doesn't even know what to say.
I go to Pine Lawn.
He's just sweating.
He's like, I go to Pine Lawn all the time because it's the only place where I'm the life of the party.
You're going to make him go pee-pee.
What is the Highlander all about? Is that like a Keith Richards thing, or is it a Johnny Depp thing? What's
I don't
going
know.
on
I
there?
wanted to ask him about all that stuff, but he came out too early. Maybe he'll come back on, and we could ask him.
He's playing the patio, and he's hosting.
He's
hosting.
gonna be busy. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
and that
gonna
show
Oh, is he
starts-
hosting out there?
Yeah, and that show starts in just a few minutes.
Yeah.
That's
Postie's
a fun
bag.
show. So, like Don said, go check out one of the shows at Governor's, the patio. Or Marco Asante. You got Dave Attell here. Out in McGuire's, out in Bohemia, Chris Roach. Actually, he might be on stage right about now. And then they have at McGuire, at Brokerage, Vaccarello, I think.
Oh yeah, Greg Vaccarello, good dude, man. Yeah, I go back with Vaccarello. He used to headline a lot back when I would our open mics.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and he was one of the first comics that actually told me I was doing good.
Oh, no kidding.
And gave me a couple of pointers and whatnot. And then I had him on my radio show on WUSB.
Nice.
And he's good friends
Is
with
he-
like Paul Bond and all that.
Oh, is he from? He's a Long Island guy.
He's a Long Island guy.
Oh,
but
I didn't know
he's in
that.
Vegas now.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, but yeah, he's a New York, Long Island dude.
Oh, wow.
He came up through this scene, as far as I know, and he's like there with like, guys like Joe Starr and all those dudes.
sure.
That was
All right.
kind of that graduate class, I guess
Sure.
you could say, that generation. Paul Bond, Joe Starr, Vaccarello. Who else was in that crew?
James and Valentine.
Yeah, you could say Gary Valentine, but and Adam Ferrara, all those guys.
Yeah.
Even Joe, what's his name, is who's good friends with Anthony Cumia. Joe Curry. Was,
Joe Curry
Oh,
came
right.
up with those guys as well. Yeah. So good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
We should probably say something about John Ziegler. He's in the hospital. He's having a hard time. They were doing surgery, and he's got sepsis, so they're like a little concerned about him. So
very sorry to hear that, John. All the best to you. Yeah, that sucks to hear that.
yeah, he's so nice. He's so nice
He's a
and
good
so
guy,
funny.
John.
Yeah.
He's like you. He's a big student of comedy and knows almost everything there is to know about comedy. I mean, I've sat in the green room with him when he's performing, and he's got a pad and he's writing stuff down before he even goes out. A couple weeks ago, when I was doing the show here, he was actually it was such a cool moment for me because he sat next to me. He's writing notes, and he's like, "All right, what do you think?" And he's reading some of his ideas to me. And I'm like, "Fuck, man!" Like this guy who's a comedian.
Yeah, I wouldn't even
bouncing
know what
ideas
to
off me.
say. I would
And I
just
did-
be like,
But because it's John and I know John, I gave my honest answer, my thoughts, and
Really?
and we discussed a lot of it, and yeah, it was really cool.
Did
I,
he use
I loved
anything
every
on
second.
the stage?
He did, and I guess I can, because he used it on stage, I can say what it's about because he's putting it out there in his act. He has I don't know the details, but he does have a form of cancer, and he was using it in the act. So, but yeah, he was making jokes about it, which, and I've said it a million times. I feel a positive attitude and laughing is just as important as the meds. You got to, have a healthy mind and body, and take it on. And people don't know what to say, right? They see you and they just like, oh, here comes the cancer guy, or
Right.
And we want to talk about it. It's not taboo, and we want to joke about it. We want to, have fun with it and just talk and live our lives. And so yeah, he had a lot of good jokes about it. He they told him, like one joke, he said something about, he went for testing and they said it'll probably take up to 5 days before they contact him with results. He's like, you got to make me wait 5 days? And he said he complained to them and then he said it actually was 5 to 10 days. And he's like, so a cancer result, doesn't matter on weekends? He's like, what the fuck?
It has to be business.
Right.
Business days, like a bank.
Right, exactly. I think he may have even said that, actually. So so it was a cool moment. And John, he plays here all the time at the Governor's Comedy Clubs. He's a Long Island guy. He's been very supportive of us.
Yeah.
He's been in here with us many times.
We started hanging here like 3 years ago, and he was one of the first comics to come in and say, hey, and give us time. Do you know he was a kindergarten teacher?
Was he really?
He
Yeah.
was,
Wow.
Yeah, he hated it. But,
That takes a special kind of patience
Yeah.
to be a kindergarten teacher.
Yeah, because can you, like, having one is enough, and then you get,
You got like 10, 15 of them.
you get like 15 more. You're like, holy
Then you got to
shit.
teach them stuff.
Well, yeah, you're talking to the pro over here.
Yeah.
He's got 18 kids.
You got 1,000 kids in that house.
Yeah, it was rough, but it's paying off now. Pays off now. My youngest is now 14. So now they're all like teenagers and adults.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now it's like, and I'm still relatively young. I'll be 50 in August, so I'm
Right.
just kind of like enjoying it. I already got a little granddaughter, so now I'm just like,
Right.
but I still wouldn't want 15 little kindergarten kids.
No.
And then I'm teaching the alphabet, and there's always, some kids that are ahead of the curve. They're
Right.
like, hey, baby. And then you got the other kids like, my balls itch.
Yeah. It is.
I like
it's
my
true.
pee-pee. And then you're like, you kind of want to,
Yeah.
what I mean? And then like I couldn't be a teacher at all ever, not even like high school level.
Right.
Because if one of those kids mouthed off to me, like if I go, so Johnny, do you have the answer? No. What are you gonna do about it? Then I would. Could somebody close the door?
You can have a little one-on-one time with Johnny.
Mr. Sill's about to get crazy. But yeah, it's just nuts, man. I couldn't do it. I couldn't teach it.
That was him, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was. He just keeps smoking. He like smokes a ton.
Yeah.
The last time I ever seen him had to be in the early 2000s when I was still writing for the magazines, and I was at this club in Manhattan called the Zipper Club. It used to be a zipper factory. And man, what a great bill that was. There was like tons of great comics on the bill. He was on it. He's one of the headliners. And my hand was broken. It was in a cast.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. So
You smashed the wall.
yeah, I punched the wall, and my hand was in the cast.
So the kindergartner brought it out in you.
Yeah. I was like, little Johnny.
Little
got on my nerves.
Johnny.
So I'm walking out, and he's out there smoking, and I couldn't believe it. Like he was just sitting there, and I go, "Oh shit, hey, how you doing? Hey, what happened to your hand?" And I didn't want to talk about it. Like I don't know, for some reason I was just like, I just broke it, man. And he was like, I could tell he was like, wanted to engage possibly a conversation. And I blew him off. I was like, I remember why. Now I had to catch a train. So I didn't have time to stop, and I remember walking on, fuck! Like I was so mad that I blew. Cause I've interviewed him a few times on the phone.
Yeah.
When he's Insomniac and all that stuff. I used to do a lot of stuff at Comedy Central back in those days, and I interviewed him on the phone twice, and then I covered him at that thing, and that was the last time I saw him, and I blew him off because I had to catch the damn train.
That's why he's not coming in.
That's why he's not. He's like, I remember that guy.
I'm gonna blow him off now.
Well, he got even with me, kind of. Like, he doesn't remember me. Like, he's not like, it's that guy. But we were at the Comedy Cellar, and Jeff Ross was there, and there's this guy, Chris Williamson, a different Chris Williams. Not the
Oh, I
Long
was
Island
gonna
guy.
say, yeah, okay.
And Chris Williams, he passed away, God bless him.
Oh.
But I wrote to him, because I was friends with him on Facebook, and I said, hey, tonight's my birthday. I'm going to be at the club. So I went to the Comedy Cellar, forgot all about it, and in the middle of the show, he's like, is Don Sill in here? And I'm like, what the fuck? I remember like looking at my brother and Ellie and everybody and everybody I was with, and I'm like, what the? And then he's like, I'm here. He's like, happy birthday, motherfucker. So then afterwards, I'm hanging. Williams is walking me through, introducing me to everybody. He was the MC, and then it was the weirdest thing. Then the Mr. Softy truck shows up. out front of the Comedy Cellar.
Right.
So everyone's getting ice cream.
Nice. I love Mr. Soft.
So then Jeff
You
Ross.
do. Like, he can't even think when he sees a
yes.
truck.
You threw me
He
off.
actually takes like 3 to 5 seconds, and he's like,
Do you get the cone with like the double cone? With
Yes, double chocolate.
Yes. That's what I get. So we got cones and stuff, and I'm sitting there eating that with Jeff Ross, Chris Williams, and Attell's there. And we're all just eating ice cream, and, and my brother's there, and everybody with, and
Party animals.
eating ice cream. But then it started to get, like I could tell I overstayed. It was the welcomes. It started to feel awkward.
Right.
But then I'm like, I gotta take a picture, and I still have these pictures. If you see, you could go on my Facebook and look through my shit, and you'll see the pictures. But he ducks back and runs. I don't know if you've been to this Comedy Cellar. There's like a restaurant above.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
He ducks back and goes up, and I shall let him tell the rest. He just walked by. I was like, we should call him in and let him finish this. Remember that one?
yeah.
Just,
You know, Mr.
Talking
Softy.
about you.
Tell him the Mr. Softy story. Go ahead, tell him.
So we're drinking we're eating the ice cream cones, and then it starts to get awkward. I'm like, all right, I start to get this vibe. I got to get out of here. Hey, what's up?
Michelle Fox.
How you doing?
Hey, Michelle Fox. Good. How are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
All right.
So good to see you guys.
Yes.
No, you're
No,
not
no.
interrupting. You want? Are you?
I just had such a great time on the show with David.
Yeah.
Are you hosting or no?
I'm hosting.
Oh, you are. So
I'm
okay.
not in
Okay.
all the-
All right, cool. All right. So, yeah. So anyway, so we're eating the ice cream, and then I decide, all right, before I leave here, I got to take a picture.
Right.
So I forget who we gave the camera to or the phone to. It was one of our wives or whatever who was with us, and I got Jeff Ross, and then I turn around. He's ducked back and up into the stairwell, and like he's kind of like hiding, just like eating his eye, like. But when we took the picture, you could see he kind of almost photobombs. He's like that.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah. So I'll see if I can find the picture. But yeah, so that was another time that I saw the Great One. I call him the Great One. And also, when you turn 50, you get these glasses. It comes with the package. Oh, do you have readers?
Don
No,
said
I don't.
Package.
I don't. You need glasses for my package. Yeah, I am definitely due for them.
Yeah,
now.
he
I just
completely
haven't-
needs glasses. He's been in denial for about a year.
I mean, I could still see the comments up there with no problem.
It's going to
Yeah,
be weird seeing
I could
glasses
see Michelle's
on your
butt.
face.
I just looked at Michelle's butt as she walked by.
I could see far. I just can't see near.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
no, near. I don't have any problem.
Yeah, that's where my biggest problem.
I
is.
can read Plajanos' comment. I deleted the comment where I suggested that you should have told him to kill himself. Talking about Perillo.
I've already tried 5 times. I just can't seem to get it right. And every time I get near death, I suddenly get inspired to live.
And suck a dick.
And then when I usually get awoken by a penis in my anus. As they're suffocating me with a belt.
Did Perillo not show up on his show or something? Did he kill your puppy?
Elizabeth Batapita's on govsradio.com.
Hello.
She went to McGuire's last night. She saw Jeff there. Jeff,
Oh, good.
Happy to see Jeff still alive.
Yeah, the Boastmeister doing his thing. Trying to find this picture.
We'll have it printed out. You can get an autograph. Have him autograph the picture.
He's like, I'm hardly even in this thing.
So I don't know whether to ask James to talk to Michelle again.
Well,
'cause
James just walked by, so if you
I
go
know,
ahead,
but
go chase him down.
yeah, but I asked him on Tuesday to ask Michelle to get Dave in here.
Nah, he ignored you. Just run over to him now. Go ahead. Olga's on the stage right now. Go ahead, because once Olga comes off the stage, and then she talks to James and.
Okay, so I had this. It's William Stevenson.
Oh,
Is the guy. So that's me and William. See the Mr. Softy truck.
nice.
Okay, so that's the guy that called me out on.
And that guy's dead?
Yeah, he passed away.
Oh,
So
wow.
which camera? This one. So that's Stephen Williams.
Get it? Yeah, bring it in closer.
Yeah, I don't know if you can.
Oh, okay.
That's Stephen Williamson, and that's this Mr. Softy truck in the background.
Now,
And-
it tells in the background of that
No,
picture?
no, it tells in the background of this Todd Barry. Okay.
I so want ice cream. We have to get
So
ice
this
cream.
one,
Okay.
you can
I'm
see
starving.
Jeff Russ still has the ice cream cone, and this is right before I left when it got awkward. And then, and then there he is.
Oh, look at you. What is he doing?
That's him. I told you, he kind of photobombed. So so that's when he kind of ducks back and hides a little bit, and then you can see William Stevenson's laughing in the background.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm
And
like,
now-
I don't see him.
And now, who's that guy between your brother and Ross?
That's let me see, who is that? That might be.
He looks like he's photobombing with a pose. He's voguing.
Yeah, that looks like just a regular guy who photobombed us.
I love photobombing.
You are the king of the photobomb. Don, do you get into photobombing?
I photobomb sometimes.
Tony, it's
get
like
in there.
a freaking art. Like it's unreal. Like sometimes I'll watch him photobomb and I'm not even laughing. I'm just like intrigued at how good he is at it. He's got one leg and he still has that like backward move. He gets in every photo. It's amazing.
Did you ever get into a picture and then they check and they see you and then they look at you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I've gotten a lot of those. Yeah.
And he takes people's cameras and takes pictures
Of himself,
without.
like,
Yeah.
Cheese.
Or one time,
Yeah.
one time we were at a Mets game, and so there these girls that were sitting in front of us, and it was one of those like
Forgot about
it was one of these like situations where like like the seat behind you there's like actually a ledge, and then we were sitting over the ledge.
Right.
But so the girls were using the ledge to put their stuff, which was a really
Right at our
bad
feet.
mistake.
Right, that's annoying.
So
yeah.
they put their phone there. So he picks up the phone immediately. Then he opens up my shirt and takes a picture of my boobs and puts it back. And then he's taking pictures of everyone all around them. He's taking pictures of us. And then he takes the camera, instead of just putting it back on the ledge, he puts it in there because he's like, I can't believe they just put their like trash there too. Like they put their hot dog box.
Nathan's hot dog box.
Yeah. So Tony takes the phone and puts it inside the hot dog box and closes it. And this is what's so funny. So the girls like look back. She's like looking for the phone. She can't find the phone. And then she finds it in the hot dog box. And instead of saying, who the fuck put my phone in the hot dog box? She turns to her friend. She goes, I put my phone in the hot dog box. Like, how would she not know she didn't do that? And so we were just like, I don't even know what happened to the game. We were just laughing at these
That's
stupid
great.
20-year-old girls.
That's so
The
great.
whole thing.
That is so great.
And you could tell, like, all he could do was sit there and think, how can I fuck with them more? It was crazy.
The only thing that sucks about it is she'll never know that she was fucked with.
Well, she'll finally go through her
Well, she'll
like,
see a picture of
pictures.
Sally's boobies.
Yeah.
She'll be like,
And
"What
he
are
was
these?"
taking pictures of everyone, and people are waving. They're all watching us.
We were in the city once. We were going to the Iridium to see a
Iridium.
show, and right next door is the Stardust Diner, popular diner. All
Yeah,
the
it's
tourists go
famous,
there.
Yeah.
So we're online to get into the Iridium, and all right. So first we're online for the Iridium, and a guy
I totally forgot
and
about this.
and Sally, and because you get into the Iridium, you have to line up outside.
This is like 3 years ago.
Yeah. So up on the line are some people that we know. Sally walks up to say hi, right? So I'm standing there to keep our place online. And I'm standing there, and from behind me, I hear Mr. Walker. I'm like, so immediately I'm not like, I don't think, oh, hey, who's this? I'm thinking, who's hit me with a
Subpoena.
lawsuit?
Right, yeah, I'm in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
so I turn
wife
around-
is going to divorce me next?
So I just turn like, and I don't even like turn. I'm doing these. I go, yeah. I love your radio show.
Wow.
I'm like, oh, now I turn around. Hey, how you doing, Tony? Tony. Oh shit.
We
Greg,
thought Eric
But-
put someone up to it because there's no way anyone would thank either one of us for our radio show.
So we're talking. So we're talking for a minute. Sally comes walking back and immediately. He's like, "Oh, hey, Sally," and she does the same thing. She's like, "Yeah." Talk to him. So he says, "Can I get a picture?"
Wow.
So like, okay. So we're like waiting, and he's not giving the phone to anybody. So we're like, are you taking a selfie? What's going on?
He just wants one of you two by yourself.
That's exactly what he said. He goes, "No, I don't want to be in. I just want to take a picture of you two." Like, okay. So we're standing there and he takes a picture.
And
Nice
then
guy.
Then I took a picture of him because he was our only fan. I'm like, can I have a picture of you? You're the only one.
The first time you were recognized
Yeah.
and acknowledged. and
Uh-huh.
people-
Then, 5 minutes later, out of the diner, a group of 20 easily, right?
Kids.
Yeah, teenage girls. And they come out, and now they're gathering for a picture, and they have maybe 6 adult chaperones. So they're gathering for the big picture. So speaking of photobombing, I work my way, and I'm all the way in the back.
Yeah. And he does those weird eyes, too. Like, he's not just like...
Well, you got him, too. You
He's
did the
like-
same thing.
Yeah. So it's like that. He can't just, like, get his face in a thing. He's got to, like, contort his whole...
So at least 3 of the adults are taking pictures, right? And all of a sudden, a lady goes, "Hey!" She points at me. I'm like, okay, I'm busted. I start to walk away. This one guy, one of the men, he's, "Get over here." I'm like, oh, fuck. Is he going to start a fight with me now just because I was messing around? So as I'm walking to him, I'm thinking, all right, I'll just apologize. I'll tell him, go ahead, take more pictures now. I won't mess around.
Because
I
it
don't
was
want
a
any
school
problems.
picture.
Right.
Like, it was like
Yeah.
these kids on a school trip.
So I get to him. He leans in. He goes, "I've seen three of your murder mysteries. You guys are hilarious."
This is all the same day?
It was in
like
5
a
minutes
half
of each
an
other.
hour. Yeah.
And so I went back to her to tell her what this guy just said. We couldn't believe it. Like,
You guys must have been like riding home on a cloud.
oh, yeah.
Because we're in the
Like-
city. No one knows us in the
Yeah.
city because we do all of our work on Long Island. So we're like, how is this even possible?
I would be at the Starlight every day. Like, I would just always
Yeah.
be just hanging around.
Yeah.
Be like, just
Here we
wearing
are.
sunglasses.
Anybody want to take my picture?
Yeah, be like, hello, everybody.
Tony Walker is here.
I'm
But
here.
I did seriously think Eric's fucking with us because it would be something he would take the time to do. All right, now the schoolgirls come in.
Now the paparazzi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is great, man.
Yeah, it was funny.
One time I was photobombing. This is years ago. I was down in Lido Beach, Long Beach area, and down at Nickerson Beach where they have the campground. There's a private beach just for the campers, and some friends of ours were camping. So we were down there. We had access to the private beach, and there was this family. It must have been some kind of family reunion. There must have been 20 of these people, and they're taking a million pictures, all different configurations. These 2, these 3, these 5. So after 6 of these, I'm like, all right, I had enough. And I'm back there. I'm right behind them. I'm dancing in the water. They're acting like I'm not even there, and they're taking a million pictures. Chinese family. All the jokes, but it was stereotypical. They were taking a million pictures. I swear to God, this is true. I dropped my bathing suit. I totally drop it, and I'm bouncing around in the ocean. This thing is bouncing.
Godzilla! It's Kazuki! In Kazuki!
Oh my god.
They did not stop. They just kept taking pictures. I
Really?
swear to you. My friend Joe Murphy, if you're out there, he'll vouch for me.
Wow, man.
I just kept jumping around. This must have went on. I swear to you, this went on for about 15 minutes. So somewhere out there, somebody has a framed picture of their family on their wall with my cock in the background.
Remember that? Remember the Glen Cove mansion we were doing a murder mystery
Oh,
at?
I forgot about that too.
So we're just waiting in the lobby, and all these probably 15 men in suits. They were all lined up on stairs because they were doing a photo shoot. Like there was a photographer doing
Caraco suits. Is that what it's called? Caraco?
something.
I don't know.
No, you don't know what I'm talking
But then
not
he's
sure what
like,
suits,
only he would be like, I'll be right back. And he gets on the stairs, and he's in all these, and they don't even know. And he's just like,
Were you wearing a suit that day?
No, I was dressed like this.
yeah. And
But
he's
then-
in a whole bunch of those pictures.
Well, then at the very end, they were taking a big picture of the whole cast and crew, and they asked somebody in the mansion to come take the picture. So there's probably 50 people, and I mean it's a big mansion, so they're all in the lobby. I mean, 50 people. Who the hell's going to notice? Dead center, all the way in the back. There I am.
Yep.
No clue.
The best, though, photobomb you've done that I'm aware of has actually been a Newsday. And that's when...
The Gary Carter thing?
The Gary Carter, the newspaper. You're like, all of a sudden one day you're like on the cover of Newsday, and all I see is you. It's like
I had a bright red shirt on.
yeah, and you're the
Must have.
focal
Was it a
point.
Thursday?
Yeah, it was actually.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, he's the focal
Yeah.
point of the,
Yeah.
like your eye goes right to Tony, and you think that the stories must be about Tony, or
Yeah.
that he's related to Gary Carter in some way, or that he made the the big banner.
Because the picture's like this big, and then it's half of it is like Gary Carter's down here with his family.
Well,
you know,
he was dead. Still is. He was dead at the time.
oh, was he?
Yeah.
Was it just his family?
He was just his family.
Yeah.
And then up in the stands of is Tony, and it's just all you see
I look
is
like
this.
Rocky Balboa, and I'm like this.
Yeah.
You're like, and it's like, I'm like, what the? How the hell? I was like, does he know something? Like it looks like you were posed, like the
Yes.
photographer said, all right, make sure that
Yep.
those guys are,
Yep. And I'm dead center.
You're
I
dead
got the
center.
bright red shirt. Everybody else is like in dark clothes.
you
It was
They
Yeah,
must have liked the
completely set up.
picture because they could have easily just,
Cropped them out. They
cropped
could-
you out and put Gary Carter there. you know?
It must have been one where the editor was just like, yeah, I guess just push it through. I got
Yeah.
He had family problems that day or some shit. He was just like, yeah, whatever.
Caracos. Thank you. Yeah, it was weird.
500 shirts and socks if you buy the suit. Wow.
Yeah, they do that all the time in their commercials. Yeah, we'll throw in 2 pairs of socks, and yeah, they have all sorts of deals. I'm out there, and yeah, it's before the game. The game's just about to start. I was a huge Gary Carter fan. I met him several times. Once had dinner with him, and this was the first Met game since he died. It was opening day, and they were doing something for him because he died, during the off season. And I see his family come out. And we're just hanging out, on the railing there watching. We had really good seats. And his family stopped right in front of me. They just stopped. So immediately I said to myself, I'm not moving from this spot, man. Something good is going to happen here. So they were unveiling. They had, they had something on the outfield wall, his number 8. And they were going to unveil it. So I'm standing there, and it was a windy day. It was an April day, and it was windy. They had a guy, they had one of their employees come up by me, and they had 2 guys on the bottom to help the family unveil it. One of the guys on the bottom started pulling the curtain too early, and so it already started to rip. So the guy who's next to me, he grabs it, but it's so windy, he's having trouble. So I grab it. And so I'm standing there with these holding the curtain. I'm like, what the fuck? Like one of those moments, like, how did I get, like you and Muhammad Ali.
Right,
like,
yeah,
how did I
yeah.
get here? They start yelling at me from the ground, from the outfield. We don't need your help. Thank you, sir. I'm like, no, he really needs help. Like, I don't know if they thought I was, causing trouble or something.
Right,
but
right.
no, he really needs help. They're like, no. I'm like, fine. I let go. Sure enough, the thing just like, let's go. But that's when I just stood up and I'm like, and I knew that I'd be all over. And
That was awesome.
The next morning, I'm actually on the shitter, and my cell phone rings and it's a guy that one of my buddies from work. He's like, took the day off to go to the Met game. I was like, what are you talking about? He goes, Daily News and Newsday, man. Your picture's all over the place. I'm like, son of a bitch. It is
That's
a great
so
picture.
awesome. Yeah, I hope you have that framed and hanging up somewhere.
I do actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Gary Carter. He was great, Gary Carter.
Yeah, he was one of the good ones, man. My dad caught a foul ball from Gary Carter, and then and then my brother met him with my dad, like at an autograph signing, and they had him sign it. So he signed that ball. So that's pretty cool.
The last time I met him, he managed the Long Island Ducks.
Yeah.
And I was out on the field with my son's Cub Scouts. We were holding the flags for the national anthem. National anthem just finished. The players are on the field. They're ready to start the game. And I made eye contact with Gary Carter. And he just gives me a quick one of these. And I did a quick one of these, but I go like this. And I pulled my shorts up because my prosthetic had the Mets logo on it.
Yeah, I remember that.
His eyes. He comes running out. Me and him are standing by first base. He's asking me all sorts of questions about it. They're waiting to start the game. And he's just asking me all sorts of questions about the leg of the prosthetic.
Like, Gary, you got to work, man.
Yeah, we took pictures. Yeah, it was great.
That's awesome, man.
What did he
was a
die
good guy.
from?
He had a brain cancer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He was only, I think, 58 or something. I think.
That's too bad.
Yeah, that sucks, man.
Tremendous player. But
That sucks.
yep. So
Yeah, so we're waiting. We saw David Tell walk by about 30 times.
17
So
times.
Yeah.
He's 2 packs in now.
but he's probably getting ready to go on. He hasn't gone on yet. He might. I don't know if he would come in before now or in between. He's doing two shows tonight, right?
yeah, I think so.
We saw Michelle Fox walking through.
Yeah, I
Who else
think
is on
they
the bill? Do you know? On the main stage?
On the main stage, I don't know who that one guy was that was walking with him.
I don't know either.
I'm
I don't know if that's his
assuming-
handler or like driver. I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't. Actually, who's that? Whose voice are we hearing now? That's not a towel.
No,
So I don't know who that is.
that's whoever.
there
What's
she
up,
is.
Hey, you.
How are you? Come on in.
How's it going? Come on in.
Olga
Sit next
Namer
to Don.
is here, ladies and gentlemen. What's up, Olga?
Wow. Oh, wow.
The
cool.
incredibly
Oh, hi.
funny Olga Namer.
How are you?
Great to
Oh,
see you.
good to see. Could you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah,
you're on.
and your
Do I need
mic is
these?
No, you don't need those
Your
if you
mic is
don't.
on.
No, you're fine.
Oh, amazing. What was hi.
Yeah,
How'd it go out
seriously.
there?
Oh, it was so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had the best time.
Nice.
David
Is it
Tell's
crowd
crowd
out
is a
there?
good crowd.
Yeah, I love his crowd. They don't they're just cool. Like they don't like you could say abortion jokes and rape jokes and they're like ha like other crowds are not like that.
All right,
You know?
I have to ask because
Uh-oh.
because you're Olga Namer and you're just full of comedy, man. You're hitting open mics all the time. You're doing like 80 open mics a week.
Open mics.
Well, not open mics, but appearances. Excuse
I was
me.
like, where are these?
Sorry, not open mics, but-
Because I need
But you're
them.
hitting the clubs
I'm doing a lot of
pre-pandemic.
shows.
Pre-pandemic,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
talking about.
Oh, pre-pandemic,
So when
yes.
when the quarantine happened, what did you do with yourself?
Oh my god, I wanted to die. It was
Yeah,
the worst.
I bet.
I just drank.
It must have been like
No,
long
it
and.
was so. It was rough.
Where were you? You live alone or?
That first, yeah.
you took off for a while, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I didn't like this. I said, well, this is a joke that I don't use, but I just said that like when Corona happened, I was like a teenage boy trying to lose his virginity. I'm like, anybody just let me inside.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. So I just went anywhere. I went, oh my God. I was in like, first I was like staying by my sister's house. That lasted like, she's like, you'll just sleep on the couch. Like that. Then one time, I don't know, she got like yelled at me for like going out to buy something. And I was like, I can't obviously live here.
Oh, yeah, because everybody's paranoid if you go out. You
Right.
bring it back, especially in the early.
And me
yeah.
and me and our husband, we took it very serious. But then we're like, all right, if we're stuck, let's like have fun. And then me and the husband were drinking, and then she goes, "Why don't you just both have fun together?
Nice.
And go leave both of you." And I was like, yeah, because
She
I
had a
guess.
breakdown.
So you banged him.
Well, no, that was the other brother-in-law.
Nice.
No, because it's a scary time,
Yeah.
and we were both trying to not. And she had the kids, the responsibility for the kids. Oh my God, oof.
So she finally had a breakdown because she was the worry wart, and you guys were having fun.
Yeah, and
drinking.
my parents' home, they weren't there, but they have they have a house a block away. So then I was like, okay, I'll live in this house, and then I'll go to and then we'll have two homes to live in during this time. And then one day I said I just had a sniffle, and she's like, and I was supposed to go there for dinner, and she's like, I don't want you here. And then I was like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And yeah, so that was that. So then after that, I went to Connecticut. I found someone. They let me.
Someone let you in?
Yeah.
Someone let you in.
Yeah.
When was this on the timeline? Like, was this in
This
the
was
summer?
even before anyone started quarantining.
Oh,
This is
wow.
like back in like in the March that everyone's like, thanks. Thank you so much.
How's it going,
James is
James?
the best.
Yes, James.
Yay! Give it up for James.
Yes.
He's the funniest.
He would have got a bigger
comic.
applause if he brought us all drinks.
Oh wow. It's true. Do you want? Ooh, that was okay.
Hey, there we are.
yeah.
We're applauding James on
So, oh yeah, so Connecticut, yes.
So that was before quarantine. You
This
were
was
already
like
off.
March. When did it happen? March
Yeah.
19th.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty much the
19,
date.
right
when it
around
locked
there.
down.
So it was like I remember I was like in quarantine for 6 days, and then I was like, all right, now I'm driving to Connecticut, seeing 2 new people. Do I have to re-quarantine? Because 14
Oh, yeah.
days was the thing.
Right,
Remember?
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
So then I had to start from day one. Yeah. And then, but this girl, oof, she had a cat. I can't do it.
Cats are
It was
weird,
her
man.
and this other
you know
it
the
was
cat
2
was there?
comics.
Ahead of time?
Do you have allergies, or
No,
you just
I
they
fucking
freak you
hate
out?
cats. I want them
Yeah.
to die.
Tony's like that too.
Thank you.
I'm not a
with
cat
you.
person either.
Tony's like that too.
Hello.
I'm
I
like,
love cats.
Hello,
though. I
this
love them.
cat. You know when you put water by your bed in the night and
and they knock
sleep?
it down, yeah.
No, it started slurping from my fucking water. I woke up from it, and then I like stood up on a chair and I was like, oh my god, and then I cried, and my mom's like, get out of there now, Olga, get out of there now. The more you're with these people, the more you're gonna get us sick.
Especially that cat.
Yeah, people like really there's still the handful of people that are still freaking out about it, but like everyone
they
was
got it. My
so
friend Courtney,
freaked
she
out.
hasn't seen a person in like a year and a half.
Wow,
I swear.
that's
It's
crazy.
like,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, it was tough, the quarantine. Like you said, every time you go out somewhere or see somebody new, or if you travel, it's 14 days. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean?
But then, what do you do? Like in our house, like one of our sons works
you
in
guys
Stop
were
and Shop.
doing this.
We were.
I remember,
But we were the only ones in here.
Oh, did I?
Yes. And I was going to come and do it. And that's when my sister's like, if you go do that, you can never come back.
Just forget it.
And your mom's like, you gotta bring it back.
You'll have governor germs and COVID germs.
Everything. Everything.
Did you ever get it throughout the year? Year and a half?
I never got it, but I did have antibodies in, when did I have antibodies? All of a sudden in November. But I took 1 million COVID tests. I took 2 antibody tests, one in June and one in, when was it? September. And then all of a sudden November I had the antibodies. I don't know. I never
So
got
you might
sick.
have had a low case and never felt it, maybe.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I
It's
mean,
so
I was
weird, this thing.
around people, high risk people. Not on,
Right. Yeah, it's so crazy.
They would have died for sure if I like was spreading it. No, I don't know.
I don't know.
It's confusing.
Everybody gets
Very
at different
confusing.
levels, and people handle it differently.
Yeah.
Immune systems.
Yeah.
It's a very strange
Yeah.
thing. But now I think we're finally getting out of the woods.
Yeah, it must be nice to be
Are
back on
we, though?
stage.
I don't know. I feel like we go
I mean,
2
we
steps forward,
are.
and once like now, Bill Maher,
Okay.
who is vaccinated, just got sick. Where he had to cancel his last appearance on.
Really?
got
He got
COVID?
vaccinated and then he got sick?
Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of those stories. Yeah.
Seriously?
So
Yankee
but they
players
say
sick.
it won't kill you if you get the vaccine.
Right.
I love it. Bill Maher got sick like a day in bed, like
Right.
Yeah,
It
right.
could, yeah, hopefully that's all it was. I don't know how bad or good he was. I just heard.
Was he a Republican?
No, he's like a super Democrat.
Oh, he could die. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. I love both sides.
Oh, there's a lot
It's
of
hard
jokes
to
there.
not be political these days, though. You're finding it hard not to voice your opinion.
I've always been chill, but when it comes to this Israel and Palestine thing, I want to fucking punch people. They're so stupid. Obviously, Palestine. I'm kidding.
It is now. It's heating up. That's a hot topic that just
Again,
happened
yeah.
today. Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Come on, are they kidding me? Just, you know what it is? People they're not educated, so they are on the topic. They don't know. They see a meme
Yep.
from, these Israelis are killing children. And it's like, no, that's not what is happening at all.
That's a problem. People getting their news from memes. That's
Yeah, but-
that is a problem.
But it's history repeating itself, whether it's memes or a newspaper from years ago, whatever it is. It's always about blind faith. People aren't paying enough attention, and they just follow whoever they're following to go
yeah.
kill.
But don't they the killing, but like to retweet things that are like
That you
people
don't
are
even
like
understand.
saying that it's an ethnic cleansing. The Jews want to get rid of the Palestinians. We don't. I lived in, I mean,
Yeah. Mhm.
I lived in Israel. I don't know what side you guys are on. You look like you are not on my side, but
Well,
no, I'm
why?
kidding.
I think.
No.
How do I look? Do I look like a Democrat or Republican?
No, it doesn't. See, that's the problem. It's not about Democrat.
We're just
Republican.
freaky
It's
looking
about
either way,
Jews and Muslims. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
I have a whole portion of my family that's Jewish. So
Yeah.
I support the Jews.
That's your Holocaust number. No, I don't know. Okay.
I tried to cover that up.
This is the thing. I have a home in Jerusalem. I went there every summer. I had Arab neighbors
Wow.
who we were like close with. They're happy in Israel. They have all of they're living in a democratic state. And in any other Arab country surrounding it, it's not.
It's a different
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not even about Gaza. It's about Hamas. which is a terrorist group.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know why anyone would stick up for terrorism. That's insane.
I know, and I feel like there are now politicians coming out, certain ones that are coming out in defense of Palestine.
Yeah, because I don't. Well, they
Not to get
said.
too-
Yeah. Did you know that Israel is responsible for the cherry tomato?
Really?
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
The cherry tomato.
That's
Yeah.
pretty awesome, actually.
I know.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Michelle.
Yes, come on in.
Isn't that
Michelle
insane?
Fox, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
had
Hi,
no
Michelle.
idea.
Hey,
Yeah.
Ask her, let's see if Michelle Fox knows
Yay.
the origins
Yeah.
of the cherry
Sit
tomato.
down. Actually, sit down right where you. No. Michelle,
Sit
sit
on the couch.
right there. Like that
Yeah, grab-
spot right
yeah.
there.
Yeah, there
Yep.
you go.
I'm gonna get
Put headphones on.
I'm gonna just say how great Israel is, and then Michelle's gonna take over and say more things about how great Israel is.
Well, let's see if she knows
Okay.
the origins of the cherry tomato. You said
Yeah,
cherry
because
tomato.
I was looking up what is the Jews what is Israel responsible for?
Put
like
your
that.
headphones on, then we can hear you.
So one of the things, one of them is they have a cure for cancer, and then the next thing on the list was the cherry tomato. And I was
That's-
like,
that's
by the
quite a
way.
list.
And also, face recognition, the phone, like the face recognition, that's Israel.
Really?
Then also every cell phone, like every chip in the phone is from Israel too.
Wow.
What
So-
else did they do? Oh, they help blind people see. They created this cornea thing. Then that thing where you could. What else do they?
lot of
Everything. They're
innovation.
just
A
the
lot
best.
of
Yeah,
technology.
They're amazing. They're amazing.
Yeah,
Waze.
you're up on
they
this too,
have,
huh?
they have something
You know
now.
They did Waze?
Next time anybody is in traffic and if you're pro Palestine, don't fucking use Waze, okay? Fuck you.
And don't eat cherry tomatoes.
Yeah, don't ever touch a cherry tomato.
Yeah, you sons
love
of bitches.
cherry
This is-
tomatoes.
you guys got me.
Talking to you,
This
AOC.
is the only time.
Talking to you,
Yeah,
AOC.
she fucking eats those cherry tomatoes. Like she get out of here. I fucking throw them in her face. I hate her. I don't know. She's just such a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she? I
Bitch.
don't know. I
I
really
think
don't
she
know
is.
anything
I think
about
she
her.
is. I think she is. Just because.
I didn't even know every time AOC. I thought that was like an organization. I'm like, who the fuck is this
I
AOC?
did the same thing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then someone's like, Alga, it's a girl. I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah. And you know what? As much as I don't like her, I'm still weirdly very attracted to her. It's the strangest
Because
thing.
you like
'Cause we're a guy.
bitches. And
This might be true. Yeah.
This is a very serious side of Olga that I'm not used to.
really,
Yeah.
I'm not used to it either.
This
You
is
want to
touching
get
home.
me
This is
started?
touches on home.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
This is big.
I never really get mad about anything. Well, but you asked me, you're like, this one, because it's just so clear. If anyone wants to see this video that will explain, I turned someone yesterday. They were pro-Palestine. I sent them this video, and now they're so all on board with Israel.
you definitely
They're
have
like,
to
I'm
send us
sorry.
Yes.
I didn't know.
Doing the
I
cause.
wasn't educated, blah, blah, blah. And it was
Wow.
the Prime Minister of Canada, and he just...
You turned the Prime Minister of
Wow.
Canada?
No, the Prime Minister of Canada, the 22nd or 26th, I don't know which one, but he was just explaining, he was saying, when I was Prime Minister, people asked me why I was pro-Israel, and he's like, why wouldn't I be pro-Israel? And then he just went into this whole thing and the history, and it was very nice 5-minute clip, and it was like, wow, that's crazy.
Wow. Very
Yeah,
cool.
I'll send it to you.
Yes, definitely.
Okay,
Definitely
sure.
send that. That'll be
Yeah.
very awesome.
Wow.
Awesome to see that.
Anyway, I love sucking dick, and
Hey! Finally, a subject I really want to know more about.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Tell us more about.
Don has
Is
7
is there one waiting for you after the show?
Michelle, you want to sit here?
Wow,
I'm
Michelle, how do you
happy.
feel about that subject?
Israel or sucking dick?
The latter, I think.
Yeah.
Only
I
ugly
never know.
girls have to do that.
Oh,
Wait, what did you say?
I teach my daughter that only ugly girls have to do that.
wow.
It's optional
It's-
if you
it-
want to do it.
What is it? What is Joan Reverse? She has this like joke about it,
What was her joke?
and she go like Melissa something. It was a bit. It wasn't sucking dick, was it? I don't know. She yelled at her. She's like, "Are you kidding me? You suck that dick!" And this like, if you could get this and that. She goes, you know how hard I had to work.
Oh, like don't do it for free.
Right, yeah.
Right,
She's
like,
like,
get
that's
something
all
out
you
of
have
it,
to
yeah.
fucking do. You fucking do it. It was something like that. She's like, you know how, I don't know. Joan Rivers is the bomb. She also has a thing about Israel and Palestine.
Oh.
Yeah, they asked her opinion, and then they said something about, well, Selena Gomez tweeted that, and she goes, oh, Selena Gomez, that college graduate. And then she goes, ask her how to spell Palestinian.
Joan Rivers, man, legend. She's the
Yeah.
GOAT.
Yep.
Absolutely. Wow.
Well, anyway, I'll let you guys, I'll go. Michelle, you can sit here.
No, stay.
Yeah, no, stay. Oh, okay.
Are you guys doing a second show tonight, or is it?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
are,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Awesome.
How's
Nice.
how's it working with David Tell? Good.
So good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's all right in there. He's not,
He's
I'm Dave.
quiet. He's
Oh,
wonderful.
Dave is the bombs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm reading the comments.
Oh, you're reading the comments?
Oh yeah.
I don't see any except from one, Andrew.
Yeah.
Shout out to you, Andrew.
Andy Pajanos. Yeah, we got a few that were coming through
Nice.
before. Yeah.
Because I want to know if they say anything anti-Israel, I'll fucking fuck them
No,
up.
no,
and-
nothing yet. Nothing yet. Elizabeth Batapete on GovsRadio.com says hi to both of you.
Hi.
Yes.
Elizabeth is a big supporter of Governor. She's at
She's
Oh, I
amazing.
saw
Everywhere.
Israel.
She's a
And
sweetheart.
Israel too. She's also.
And
yes.
sucking dick.
Yes.
That's what they say. They say she's pretty good at it. I don't know.
That's why we love her.
Yeah.
So you're hosting and you host often here.
Michelle is the bomb.
She is
So
the bomb.
lucky. Thank you. Yeah.
Tell us about that, because that's what this.
Thank
show-
you, Kevin. Epstein,
Nice.
obviously.
Yes. Him and
That was a
Charlie
shocker.
Goldberg are both big supporters.
He's Jeffrey Epstein's cousin. Oh, I'm kidding, Kevin. Okay. Oh.
Elizabeth said not lately. Actually, she said that.
We miss you.
All right, we'll send somebody over.
I think hasn't done it because of COVID reasons, perhaps. But
Michelle, take my chair.
but maybe she should get back
What?
back at it. No, I'm saying what's her name that just commented?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth
Elizabeth.
Batapete. She says she hasn't had oral sex in quite
Oh,
some time.
oral sex.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Oral
And
sex.
she's
Wow.
dying to get back into it.
Here,
Hey,
take
no
my
wonder.
chair.
Hey, what's
Bye,
up, man?
everyone.
Louis Katz, everybody.
Thank you, Olga. Thank
I
you.
gave them a spiel on Israel. You take it over now.
Yes, we were laughing a mile a minute here.
Yes. Israel.
Yes.
Well, as a Palestinian,
Thanks,
I just
Olga.
think no.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Olga. Appreciate it.
Olga Namer, everybody. Have a great set, Olga. Thanks again for coming on. You rock. How you doing, man?
I'm good. Yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah, I'm
Good to
Don,
see-
Tony, Sally.
Hey, Louis, nice to meet you.
Louis
guys.
Katz.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice to see you.
Nice to
see
You
you,
were just
man.
out there, yes?
Yeah, just out there. Yeah, it was great.
How'd it
It was
go?
a fun show. It was really fun, man. It was great. It was. I always said it's a big step up from the gazebo in the parking lot. It's nice to be in the
Yes,
main room.
nice to be back in front of an
yeah.
audience with a
With
roof.
the
Yeah.
roof is like I didn't think that would be such a big thing, but roof is nice. Yeah, exciting.
Yeah, last Saturday they had to close it up and stick everyone in the big room because it was raining.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Well, good. I mean, at least that's a possibility now because it was. It's fun. It's a nice. It feels like a baby shower gone awry. It's kind of what it feels like out there. It's just a weird vibe.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
How did you guys do during the pandemic? I mean, you must be thrilled to be back out there, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was just a lot of walks. It was like I was like prematurely just a retired old man. It was just I walked, I slept, I ate, and
Yep.
that's about it. I started drinking wine. I mean, like it was just all just old man shit the whole time. So but it was I stayed in New York for most of it, and it was I went through all the different phases. Right, I was staying with my girlfriend right in Manhattan, so it was interesting. There's different phases. There was like the everyone's scared and staying inside phase, and then the social uprising phase, and the fireworks for a month for no reason phase, and it was really
you hear it all night long.
Yeah. So it was.
How would you characterize the phase now?
Oh, I think it's like everyone's just like waiting to just party,
over it.
like to kind of go bananas this summer.
Nice.
I think it's going to be a very exciting summer. It's just rough now because one of the best things about stand up is that in New York City is that I can work and I can still go out afterwards. but I haven't been able to do that yet because the curfew in the city is like midnight. So it's like I do a set, I'm feeling great, and it's like, well, it's time to go home.
Right.
And
Thanks, guys.
It's like 11:30.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, and the crazy thing is though, because it's so pent up, man. It's like the vibe in the city. 11 p.m. is like the new like 1:30 a.m. Like people are trashed, and it's so early. It's like it's crazy, but it's like I mean that first weekend after they open it up to like regular hours is gonna be. It's going to be insane.
It's going to be party time.
Yeah.
This is a good thing, though. You can get trashed and get crazy and then still get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, you're right.
It's kind of a good thing.
Yeah, you're right. But it's still weird. I'm not even used to like doing shows at. It's been weird adapting to doing shows at 10:30. Like I'm not used to
shows
that.
like we doing Zoom shows. So like
I wasn't doing any Zoom shows.
Yeah,
I didn't like. I really like. I like working on new material, and it didn't seem. It just messes up your timing, man. It's like
it was a whole different animal. Yeah,
it's like doing it in the mirror almost.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It seemed like I don't know. Maybe if I was still doing like open mics, it seems like equivalent to a really bad open mic, and I have stopped doing really bad open mics. So I was like, no thanks. But I mean, I think it's cool that people found a way, and
some people
more power to them.
Got good. Like some people were doing them well, but that's few and far between. I
Were
think
you
it was
doing
just
any?
tough. It was just
They
hard.
did a great job here at Governors.
Yeah.
They had the stage, and then they had big screens.
So you
all
could see
around.
the audience.
You
Yeah.
couldn't hear the laughter, but you could see it. So it was,
And you did them?
I did. It was. Listen, it's not as good. It kind of sucked, but at the same time, it was good, and we were desperate to do anything.
Just to
and
perform,
vent and to speak our minds. So it was good.
So you couldn't hear the laughter, but I guess seeing them, like, could you
We
see them
couldn't.
laughing? So that would kind of keep the
Yeah.
timing the same, or
Yeah,
no?
it was hard with the timing, but it was okay. One time, I was on with Anthony Rodia, who's a really funny. He does a lot of comedy. He's
Does his show
hysterical.
here on Tuesday nights?
Yeah, he's hysterical. And he did a trick on me, and he turned off my mic, and I had no idea because you can't hear. And so I guess for a couple of minutes, the audience was watching me
Damn.
That's pretty funny.
I would have murdered him. Like he would be no more.
He might be the only one that thought that was funny.
He thought it was hysterical.
He laughed and laughed.
The car shows were also a real trip. If you did any of those, did you do those with the?
Like at a drive-in.
Yeah, you do a
we
drive-in.
did that. We
Yeah.
saw like a
We saw a concert like that.
yeah, we saw a Billy Joel tribute band
That's cool. That sounds
at
fun.
Tobay, Jones Beach.
But it's weird because you gotta.
It's weird.
You honk the horn instead of clapping.
Yeah, it was, I said it was
so
like, and I
strange.
think a couple other comics had made the observation. It was like performing for Transformers. It's
Yeah.
like it's just cars. They honk to show emotion.
Yeah,
it's really
it
weird.
was actually like that.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
really kind of weird.
It's so
It's like a
trippy.
Biden rally.
Yeah.
Beep, beep.
Right?
Where was I? No, but yeah, I mean, it was just we talking with Olga. We all got through crazy times, and it's good to see things finally normalizing, and we have big shows like this again.
Yeah.
And to see everybody again, like to see Michelle Fox back out there.
Yeah,
doing her thing.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And and just people, the hallways alive, because Tony and Sallie been continually did the show from the studio throughout the entire COVID, and kind of kept our thing alive, our comedy alive through that. But now to see life back in the hallways and people walking around, it just feels great.
And yeah, I have to say, as much as we came in here every single day throughout the whole pandemic, we freaking hated it. This
It was tough,
building,
yeah.
I mean, you know better than we do. This building has such an energy, such a vibe about it. A night like tonight, you get David Tell. There's an energy.
Yeah.
We would be in here for months, and there was nobody else in the building for months. It was like a ghost town. Is there like a hypnosis going on?
David Tell
part
is
of
doing
Dave's
a bit with
act.
the recorder.
Oh, is that what's going on?
David Tell's playing the
I'm like,
recorder
is
right
there
now?
a tin whistle?
I've never seen that yet. Him
Well, you got to come. We got another show late tonight, so
yes,
come see it.
yes.
Is David Tell Irish? I didn't.
Not Irish.
It's like the flute, like from school. The ones that
Yeah,
do
yeah, yeah.
school. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo.
Do you travel with him normally, or is this?
Yeah, I've been. Dave and I have worked together for a long time.
Oh, no
so
kidding.
I worked the road with him a lot. I headline unless I'm opening for him, and that's pretty much how I do it. But it's
Right,
it's
right.
fun. It's fun working with him. It's also I'm especially a gig like this. I drive because he's a horrible driver, so it's just good to have someone because he's. I mean, it's crazy. It's like the opposite of. As good as he is at comedy, is how bad is he is at driving.
No
It's
kidding,
terrific.
really?
Terrific. One
Like,
time,
why? Is it because he grew up in Brooklyn? He didn't
Yeah,
drive
New
a
York
lot,
guy.
or
Long Island
I really-
Island guy, but he's
yeah.
Rockville
stopping
Center.
in New York.
I legit think it's because he's so good at one thing that he's bad at all the rest. And one time we came back from a gig in Jersey. We drive all the way from Jersey, go through the tunnel into Manhattan, and he turns and he goes back in the tunnel the other way, and we just went right back into Jersey.
Oh,
it was just like
no.
he just got confused. So now I drive, and it's much. I like driving, and so it's safer.
Learning the recorder that he didn't have time to learn how to properly drive.
What's it like spending like hours on end with Dave in the car?
He's cool, man. I mean, at this point, we're friends. I've literally known him. He's one of the first people, because I've always been kind of a blue act, a little bit dirty. So the very first people I worked with when I started out, they would only have me work with other dirty comics, so they didn't want to fuck up the show. So so the very first people I work with are Attell, Stanhope, all these people that are like my favorites. Are
comic legends.
Who I got to work with. So yeah, I mean, I've known him now. I mean, at least 15 years, if not longer. Yeah, so it's a long time.
So you could have that awkward silence in the car, and it's cool. Yeah. That's when you know you're good friends with somebody, when you can have that and it doesn't feel weird, you know? You don't feel like you have to talk.
Yeah, but yeah, we chop it up, man. He's an interesting dude, and yeah, it's always a pleasure going down the road with him. Nice. And we got more dates this summer, and hopefully I'll be out. I'm booking more dates on my own, so it's good. It's also good like to go back and forth, between they're different crowds. It's
sure.
His crowd is a little larger than mine, and so it's nice going back and forth between me having to work as a headliner and then also having the cushy spot, which is opening's way easier, and also getting in front of his crowd. So it's still not, I still enjoy like switching it up and going back and forth.
Nice,
awesome, man.
Yeah,
very cool.
Michelle, who would you say, because you've worked with so many people here, you got any good juice on anybody that big names here?
Juice. I don't know.
I'm kidding.
I mean, Dave Attell happens to be like my all-time favorite. So I don't like to say that because I feel bad, but he is. He's amazing, and I feel like I've been so lucky. I mean, I don't know. There's been so many great comedians, and even when it was COVID and we were outside on the patio. Yeah, I mean. Dice Clay was here. I mean, it's a legend. This has been an amazing journey for me. I mean, it's just.
And you haven't really, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you haven't really gone off the island, right?
No, I have. I've done the city. I've done a few clubs in the city. I played a couple at the Stand, and I got to do some private shows also at Dangerfields and some others, but. No, for the most part, a couple of comics took me on the road. George Gallo took me to Comedy Cove, which was cool.
Nice, yeah.
And I had a few other ones, but for the most part, I've done a lot of work on Long Island.
Yeah. Nice. And the Long Island crowds are great, right?
Well, it's, a lot of people.
How different are they from other places?
To my opinion, is just that you see... There's just a lot of people come out, especially at Governor's. You go on the road and you come back and you almost want to kiss the ground here because you're like, oh my God, there's so many people. I'm home. Yeah.
We love comedy.
Nice place. It's
Long
so
Islanders,
lucky to work here.
Yeah, Long Islanders love comedy, and they have a great sense of humor, and they're not afraid to laugh at themselves, and they love laughing at other people. No, but I think, like, do you feel like that? Because I know, like, Michelle knows Long Island comics, but for you might do it once in a blue moon. How do you feel when, like, these audiences, all we hear lately from all the comics is how great these audiences are?
I mean, the crowd tonight is great, and it's always a pleasure coming out here. And really what it is, it gives you a little bit of a taste. It's great because you get a real nice balance of a New York crowd. They get New York references, but they're also more like I get a little taste of what a little bit more of the rest of the country's like. They're not as much of people in Manhattan are kind of living in a bubble,
right?
And this is just a step outside of the bubble, but still knowing what it's like to be in the bubble. So it's really a nice balance. It's really great.
Yeah, it's always weird because I feel like in the big cities where you would think they would have more rough edge and more callous, they seem to be more sensitive these days.
Oh yeah,
where these our audiences, these kind of mom and pop, salt of the earth type people in those type of towns, they seem to get it more and be more.
I think also our audiences here tend to be a little bit older. In New York City, you have a lot millennials,
right?
And you have different. So here you have a little bit more freedom to talk. At least when you're, over 30, let's say, and you're
Right,
relating
right.
to audiences, they took, babysitters to come out. Like, this is their
Yeah.
night out, and they're here to laugh. They want to be part of this, and this is their night out. Like,
Yeah.
so
Right.
That's a great point.
it's an honor to perform for them because, you're a part of something that's important to them. They work their ass off all week, and now they want to blow off steam, and they're, I think, tolerant, and they get it. They're real. You can talk real. You don't have to, have some kind of phony conversation.
Right, exactly.
It's also nice because they're not tourists, which there's not that many tourists in New York right now in general, but still to have people, sometimes people, they're not, the tourists are not good crowds in the city because they're doing it because it's like a New York thing to do. They don't normally go to stand-up. They don't go to stand-up in their hometowns.
Right,
People,
right.
if you're coming here, you're a fan of stand-up comedy,
Yeah.
and you can tell it makes a difference. It makes a
Right,
huge
right.
difference,
Very
So
cool.
It's nice.
Very cool.
I'm going to head out because he's going to bring me back up on stage.
I gotta go
but this was a
too.
pleasure.
Excellent.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
man.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Totally great.
Hey.
Thank you for your
LouisCats.com,
time.
right? Louis Cat.
Louis Katz. Yes.
LouisCats.com.
Louis Katz, ladies
I
and
have to
gentlemen.
go too because I have to light
Yeah,
Dave
you're
soon.
hosting, right?
But I wanted to say thank you for having me in here. It's so much
Absolutely.
fun.
You're
Please
awesome.
come back. Yeah, we want more time with you,
Yes,
so
we
come
need
on
more
back
time.
one of these
Love you
days.
guys.
Yeah.
Yes,
Cool.
you rock.
Do you think
Sally.
Dave's going to come in here or no?
I'm not sure. I'll mention it, but I don't know. He strikes me as he's introverted, but he may be in the mood. I don't know.
Okay.
All right, we will
All right.
see.
I promise I will try.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Bye,
the best.
everybody.
Thanks,
Love you
Michelle.
guys.
Thanks, Michelle. Good to see you.
Michelle Fox, she rocks. And kick some butt. And it's not too late to get to the next show, everybody. What time's the next one start? 9, 9:30?
9:30.
9:30. So you got an hour,
Got an
everybody. You
hour,
can still come
sure.
out if it's not sold out already. You can do your thing. Do your
Great,
thing.
great show. It'll be you won't want to miss it.
That was nice of him to come in.
That was
Yeah.
nice. And
Yeah.
I'm looking at his website here. I almost wasn't sure if it was him at first.
Oh, yeah, he grew a beard.
Yeah, and lost the top of the head.
It just kind of fell down.
There,
into
he
his
looks like
face.
the old man he said he became during
Yeah.
COVID.
Yeah, no, he was
He's
really
wearing,
nice.
like,
That
the
was nice
sweater.
of him.
Yeah. Now, he performed on the porch? The patio?
he
oh,
op-
he did perform out there.
He
Okay.
Yeah,
opened.
he's with Dave's show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't seen anybody from the porch except for Steve Rocco Perillo.
Steve Rocco Perillo.
It was mentioned like twice in here tonight where comics will gear themselves for the crowd, whether it's like they have a, if it's a crowd that isn't going to be a dirty crowd. Like, that's the first I've heard that. I always kind of thought like comics were comics and they did their thing, and we're all adults, and some things are going to be a little
Well,
off
if you come in
color.
to see, let's just say you're going to a show to see, I don't know, Seinfeld, the cleaner comic, right? And then this dirty guy opens it up. It tilts the tone
Wouldn't they
of the room.
expect
Right, yeah.
it though? Like, wouldn't they
No.
expect?
No.
You would want. You always kind of want. The
You would
same
never go
vibe.
see Eddie Murphy and Seinfeld on the same night.
Well, yeah, but again, first off, their names, so people know what they do. So they'll go in knowing what it's going to be like.
Because I like
That's different.
both. I don't have to stay clean or dirty. Like,
Right, but they keep this. You kind of keep the same tone. Like if you're going to see a Christian comedian,
Right.
you don't want.
Well, surely I get that.
yeah,
but-
that's
Yeah,
just
I
true.
get
That's
that.
Just, yeah, but that's just
But I wouldn't get. I mean, because like in California, when I used to go to comedy clubs, it'd be all over the place. It'd be like a clean comic. It would be, actually, you were one of the guys that I saw. You were doing a little bit of a tribute to him. Who's the guy that he died of a heart attack and he used to be a teacher, and his face would get so red when he would talk. He was like one of your top 5
of
guys.
the comedians that died too soon. You're talking about?
Yeah.
Robert Schimmel, maybe. Well, Schimmel wasn't a teacher.
He was
Oh,
a
maybe-
teacher.
Oh, you're talking about the first guy that was mentioned. What's his name? Wolfberg. Dennis Wolfberg.
Yeah, Dennis
Yes,
Wolfberg.
Dennis Wolfberg.
he was a teacher?
Like he
He
was
used to
rather.
be like either a school teacher.
He was like
or
a high
professor
school
or something.
teacher.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And he was very clean.
He was
But
clean.
he actually had a lot of bathroom humor, but he was very clean. And then I saw like really kind of dirty comics with
A
him,
lot of
too.
comics back then in the 80s boom, the Wolfberg era,
Yeah.
they would have basically 2 kind of sets. They would have their dirty set and then their clean set, because at that time everybody was working on a clean 5 to 7 minutes, maybe 10 minutes to do on Carson or something.
Oh,
and
okay.
that was your
Oh,
in.
yeah, that's smart.
Because
Yeah.
then comics were also building like Ray Romano's and Seinfeld's and all
Mm-hmm.
those comics at that time were their act was making them a sitcom.
Okay.
So basically, they were creating sitcoms based off your act. So you wanted to have a clean set it was like really important to do that. So like, but
Yeah, it
like
makes
Roseanne
sense. That makes
Barr,
total sense.
Yeah, she had like real dirty humor.
Right.
But then she cleaned it up and did that whole housewife thing and became Roseanne.
And look at Bob Saget. I mean,
Yeah.
that guy was filthy.
Bob
And then
Saget was he was doing.
Oh, was
like,
he? Like, for real?
He did like
Oh, yeah.
pedophile early on. He had like pedophile. He goes. My girlfriend's 12 years old, or something like that. He goes. My girlfriend's 12 years old. I'm nuts over her. She's this tall, and he was like right at his ball level.
Oh, yeah. He was filthy.
Yeah, like these dirty one-liners. And this is back in the
wow.
80s, like in the, before that sitcom came out. And I remember when the show came out, I was like, 'cause I remember that act.
Yeah.
I think he did it on like one of the Dangerfield specials when he was a young comic and he did the balls of nuts over her. And then all of a sudden I see him as the dad on the show and I'm like, what the fuck?
Right.
You're like telling your daughters, do not watch him.
Do not watch Mr. Tanner. He's bad. He's bad. Yeah. And he,
so that's why a guy like Attell would probably brought Cats with him so that he knows who's coming on before him. He knows that this guy will set a good tone for him to have a good night.
All right. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Did they do things like first show, early show was cleaner, later show was dirtier? Do you think they would do that?
They used to do that like on certain shows. Like if you go to the Comedy Cellar, they have shows like starting at like I think 6 p.m. and then they have like everything's like a couple hours and then it goes all the way through midnight. Once you get to the midnight show, then the audience is also more rowdy. You get a different audience too.
Sure.
So like the audience from midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, is a different breed of people from the 6 o'clock.
Right.
So now they're the ones that are expecting dirty comedy or in your face stuff, or they might heckle more. So the comic has to be more edgy and prepared for that kind of shit. And that's what makes to me the city comics a little bit more have more edge. They're for those reasons they're dealing with tourists, people from all over the world.
Right.
And then they're also dealing with tons of opportunities. They can play like 6-7 shows a night.
Right.
Every night on a Monday. They could do like 6-7 shows on a Monday.
That is crazy.
Yeah. And so those guys get a workout every day where like other towns or cities 1 or 2 a night, and that's only on Thursday through Sunday or Thursday through Saturday.
Right.
So it's a difference. It's like if I'm lifting weights every day and Tony's only lifting weights once a week, I'm going to get a lot stronger.
Sure.
And so it's
because it is just practice. I mean, it is. I mean, there has to be. I mean, it's a skill set because some people, no matter how often they do it, they just should do something else. But
I look at it like this.
But like, but if it is just practice, if you do have, if there's something innate about you that you know what to do.
That's why I tell people when it comes to any art, I say, look, art is like. We could put paper out right now and a pen, and we could all draw pictures, right? Mm-hmm. But we can't draw pictures as good as Taz, or that's her thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's an art, and
but
we all
didn't
have
they
the tools.
practice? Like if you think about it, like I remember I read something. It sounds totally dorky, but it was like something on Michelangelo. And he was saying like, oh, people always say, wow, you're such a great talent, you can paint. He's like, I paint 9 hours a day.
Right.
He's like, if you could be better than me if you painted 9 hours a day.
Yeah, I agree with that logic, but I think you have to. I think there is something to either have it or you don't. Also,
yeah, maybe.
Because like, if you take, let's just say, I don't want to, throw anybody out there, but let's just say a local comedian that's does open mics all the time or whatever, and they've been doing it for years. Mm-hmm. And then and they're doing it all the time. They're always out there. They love it. They love being a part of it. But they just don't have it. Yeah. And then you're like, you've been doing this for how long? And they're like, 10 years. And then they get up there and they just not good.
And then you're like, oh wow, I can't wait to see them. And then you go to see them and they're not good. And you're like,
you're like 10 years. This is what the hell?
Yeah.
I think you got to find something else to do.
Yeah. How's your singing voice? Have you learned the harmonica?
Yeah.
You say something like that.
My friend is a plumber. He's looking for help right now.
And then he's working in the cemetery. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That's who was peeking in a minute ago.
Oh, was it? Yeah. God,
Yeah.
tell him to come back in.
I know. I was about to, and he turned around and split.
No, I was not talking about him. He's actually funny. He is a funny dude, Steve Rocco Perillo. I've seen his act a few times. He's good. But yeah,
I actually had a plumber that I met here at Governor's at my house today. It was so funny. Me and my sister were talking about it. She's like, "Where'd you meet that guy, Henry?" And I was like, "Well, it's kind of a weird story. It was like 3 years ago, and the pipes froze in my house, and I came in here, and there was a team that had been working in here for like a month, putting in sprinklers, the sprinkler heads that for fires and stuff, not lawn,
right.
And so he said, he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And of course I'm honest, I'm like, "Oh, it's a shit show. My whole house is like, the pipes are frozen." So he called up to like one of his workers, like, "Henry, go home with her, fix her house." I'm like, "What?" So I take Henry home.
I think fix her house is code for
yeah. No, it was not.
Henry, go home with her.
So Henry crawls underneath my house, and like you have
underneath
to.
her skirt.
My house has a crawl space. You couldn't fit in there. Like that's.
What are you trying to say about that?
Like me and my kid Sam can. No one else. It's when you get underneath there, like it's over your face. It's crazy. And he crawled under there with a blowtorch and fixed my house, and then came back and
cleaned Sallie's pipes.
Yeah, I was like, "Hey, thanks, Henry."
Wow.
So I've been using him ever since. Like every time anything goes wrong, I'm like, "Hey, Henry, you want to come over?"
Good old Henry.
Good old Henry.
Yeah.
Kevin Epstein saw Panette and Joan Rivers just before they died.
Wow.
Oh,
I met
don't
John
let.
Panette once.
You met him?
Hey,
Yeah,
Kevin
we did a whole
Epstein
bit
saw
with him.
you. You're gonna die.
Nice knowing you. Yeah, that's right. Maybe. Oh, that's why
Thanks
he
a
came
lot,
here.
Kevin.
Wow.
He came here to kill me.
Wow. Yeah, John Panette. I never laughed so hard at a stand-up show in my life. Like John
Really?
Panette holds the record.
Who?
John
John
Panette.
Panette.
He's the one
Really?
who goes, "You've been here for an hour. You go now." You ever see like the?
No.
Yeah.
He does one where he's talking about a bunch of fat people fall
You'd
off
know
the
him if
wagon.
you saw him.
Yeah.
A bunch of fat people fall off the wagon of Weight Watchers, and they go to all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet. And the buffet guy is like, "Oh shit!" So they spend the whole day
He's
there.
like cooking.
Yeah, he's sweating. He's like, and then he's just watching the whole time. He's like, and then finally they've been there for 4 hours. So the guy goes, "You gotta go. You go now." He's like, "You've been here 4 hours. You know to eat vegetables."
Yeah. Well, it's so funny. Like my sister, my other sister who lives in Raleigh, she does that. Like she goes to this church, and all these people after church, they all go to this like pizza buffet.
Yeah.
And I visited her. I'm like, you people have to stop doing this. And they'll go there for like lunch, and then they'll eat all for like, I don't know, hours.
4 hours.
And then like just before they I'm not even kidding, just before they leave, they all say, "All right, one last." And they all
One
fill
last
their
round of
sodas, and they get all the food, and they eat again. And I'm like, and you know me,
They
I'm
pull out
like,
their Tupperware and fill it up to take home.
I'm the most impatient person when I want to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I'm just like when it's time to go, it's time to go. I know, I'm sorry, but picture me. Like, I'm going there for lunch. All right, after an hour, I'm like, "Can we go?"
And they want another round.
And
We gotta get
we
dessert
were there
pizza.
for, like,
They got
4
the pizza with chocolate
hours.
chips on it.
I'm like, "Lori, we've been here for 4 fucking hours."
They don't have that in Long Island. The pizza bars like they have in
No,
Raleigh. I miss those, man.
It's like
All
a
you can
buffet. You probably were
really?
at the
Yeah,
place where my sister
it might be
does
the
this
same
every
one,
week.
and they have like dessert pizza too.
I'm like,
Man, they're
"Lori,
like-
Jesus does not want this. Let's go home. Take me home."
Kevin says buffets blow.
Oh,
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
sounds like a
He
good
does not
thing.
like him. Yeah.
He also says that he hopes that I have a large insurance policy.
But yeah, John Panette was great, man, and I was crying laughing. He did a whole bit about his loofah. I got a loofah, and I gotta clean this body. And he's talking about his little loofah thing. And he's like, and I was already a couple drinks in. I was crying. You know, his stomach hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He holds the record for the live comic that's made me keel over in laughter, man.
Oh, that's
I
that's
love
an interesting
that.
one. Who? I don't know what.
I love that
Name a
when you
comedian, like
just
your
want
favorite
them
comedy
to
show.
shut the fuck up because your stomach hurts, and you just like you just want to say, "Funny comic, just stop for 2 minutes. Just let my stomach relax."
Do you have one? Does one come to mind? Like what was
Well,
the?
the Dennis Wolfberg, like I
No,
seriously,
one that you saw in person.
yeah, well, yeah, I saw him in
Oh, you saw
California.
Wolfberg?
Yeah,
Where?
in California.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I just remember like looking at him, like one thinking he's just gonna die, because every joke of
nice.
his face is like so red that I'm just like he's just gonna kill over and die right now. And then just he laughs, he makes you laugh so hard.
That's
That's John Panette.
Oh, all right,
So
yeah,
that's
I
me
do
with,
know him.
With John Panette. I have to have this album open
Oh,
because I was
here.
showing the other picture.
Got it.
So there we go.
Oh.
The day I met John Panette, we actually shot something, filmed something in the back there.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we had him do a whole thing for the Hurricanes. And he's like, I like, because it's Let's Go Canes. He's like, I like canes. I like candy canes a lot. And I eat them all the time. They're delicious. I shouldn't be eating them as much as I do, but I love them all. Oh, you mean hurricanes? That was his thing. But it was great, man. And then, I think either that same year or the year after, he passed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I was really bummed out because
Yeah,
I
I
always
bet.
liked him a lot, and he was a cool
Yeah,
dude, and
funny,
had a
very
great
funny.
experience with him and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this is a pretty cool night.
Yeah. Louis Katz and Olga
and
Michelle.
Michelle Fox
and Steve Rocco.
and Steve Rocco Perillo, who is taking care of the patio out there.
Yeah.
I wonder who's on that bill with him out there.
Well, like I said, Marco Sante's out there.
yeah,
I was hoping to see Marco. He's a funny guy. I would have enjoyed him being in here.
and he's related to
he
Amanda
is-
Asante.
Yeah, it's like I think it's his uncle or something.
Wow.
It's not a or like second or third cousin.
Right,
It's not a close connection, but yeah, they are related. I forget how. I don't know who else is out there though.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know who else is out there. I figured that he would, just like, so Olga, you do here and then go out there,
Right.
You know, kinda
like do both.
Yeah, why not,
Yeah,
right?
They should.
But
It's cool now they have so many multiple stages going on at once.
Yeah.
So soon there'll be the little room, the patio, and the main stage all going on at once.
Right. Yep.
So now it's starting to feel like the Comedy Store in L.A. or
It's like
something.
the comedy campus.
Yeah. Because I think the Comedy Store has like 4 stages.
Oh, do they?
In
Yeah.
L.A. Yeah, they have like the belly room, which is like a small room. It's kind of like the little room. And that's back in the day was where Mitzi Shore had women do their acts.
Right.
And that's why it's called the belly room. And then they have their main stage.
Why would it be called the belly room for that?
I don't know. I guess because belly dancing and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that why?
I think so. And supposedly that place is haunted. Like there's
Oh,
freaking
really?
yeah. So there's like a lot of weird people do seances and shit in there.
Really?
And they go in there with like
Do people say that about governors? Because every once in a while, someone will come in and they'll sit down and they'll be like, "Are there ghosts in here?" Like,
there's something about these kind of buildings where there's a lot of people, like old theaters and stuff, where
like
people
I wondered
want
if
it to
it
be
had
haunted.
the reputation of it, because it's weird people keep bringing it up.
Yeah.
Because I don't know how to
haven't heard
answer.
them
I'm
say
like, I
Just say
haven't
yes.
seen any.
Just say
That's where I'm
yes.
coming when I'm a
Yes.
ghost. I'll be right there with Tony's body. Will be sitting in the corner, and I'll
Stuffed.
just be floating around and sitting in one of the seats out there, just watching the acts go up, and I'll laugh at some of them. Others I'll critique them, and just be like,
Pee on some of them.
yeah, some of them I'll just haunt them. Then just kind of floating around, enjoying the comedy and the afterlife.
Kevin Epstein says he looks forward to coming back to Governors. When he saw me, it was his first time here.
Wow.
How do you like that?
Very cool. He should come back. I was talking to this guy. He might come. I might have him one day when we get back into the studio. Our show, the Don and Benny, whatever, versus the world, or Pasusu, or Conversations, whichever one it will be. But this guy's name is Johnny Chow, and he lived with Michael Jackson for a year.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, for like a year and a half. He lived with Michael
Where?
Jackson.
In California?
At the Neverland,
Neverland.
Ranch. He's a New York guy from Brooklyn and all this stuff.
He wasn't like a little boy, was he?
No. But when he was, this guy is
It's
like,
not a bad question.
yeah, no, it's a real one. But the weird thing is with guys, there's certain people in the world that are like Forrest Gump. They just kind of end up in all these moments.
Sure.
This guy, when he was a kid, would go. He lived near a theater, upstate New York or whatever.
Okay.
And he would go fishing with Muddy Waters.
What?
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, you went fishing with Muddy Waters? He's like, yeah, we would get. He's a very hyped up older guy. Yeah, man, we would catch sunfish, man. And Muddy would just be on there, and I go, what do you guys talk about? And he pulls out a harmonica. He's like, we talk like this, man. He just goes nuts.
That's so funny.
So yeah, so that dude,
and
man,
he hung out with Michael Jackson. I have a hard time picturing that.
he hung out with Michael Jackson and cooked for him and stuff. He said the first time he met Michael Jackson, Michael was ahead of the curve with masks and stuff. He was already wearing the masks.
Yeah, remember
And
that
he-
he wore a glove so no one would touch his hands and get him all
Yeah.
germy.
And he went into, he's supposed to meet him in this kitchen because he was going to be his personal cook. Because all Michael was eating at the
He
time.
doesn't eat anything.
He was just eating chicken fingers and like children's food, like kids'
Yeah.
food, like mac and cheese and chicken fingers and, shit like that. And they needed to get him more nutrients, and he had to be on a nutritious diet. And this guy didn't know anything about nutrition, but he got mixed up in this thing, like by accident. So this person called him up and goes, hey, yeah, we saw you, because they made it's a long story. I don't
like he was hanging out there, and they're just like, "Oh, he must be the chef," and he started talking to him.
Somebody wrote an article.
His last name was Chow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he just kind of fumbled into it, and then became his nutritionist. And not only that, Michael also said, "I'm also gonna need you to help me with my monkeys."
So he had to take care of the
He
monkeys.
had to take care of the monkeys. And Michael's like, "You gotta feed my monkeys." So this guy had to feed the monkeys. He's like, I didn't know that. What am I, a zookeeper? I didn't know what to do. I go, all of a sudden I gotta feed these fucking monkeys. And then one time he said, then there was a time when the FBI raided the house. Go figure. And he goes, yeah, the FBI raids the house.
Why? Why were they raiding his house?
Michael
Just
was
because of the boys?
Michael might have been in some trouble. And he goes, and the fucking the chimps, they start going crazy, and they're jumping up on the lamps and shit. And then they tell me, hey Johnny, get them down. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, how do you do it? He's like, I had to talk calmly to them and calm them down. I was like, because they rip your fingers off and they rip your balls off and stuff.
Yeah, they throw poop at you.
Yeah, man. And but he's like, I got them down, thank God. I got, just had to talk to them calmly. So this guy's a character, man. So I want to get him in here. He would be a blast.
Yeah.
How did you find him?
It's weird how I found him. Okay, so on Facebook, right? I'm friends with Don Most. You know Donnie
Oh, yeah,
Most?
yeah.
Donnie Most?
Yeah, from Happy Days.
Yeah.
I got a million of. So Donnie Most put up a post. It's a weird post. It's
Donnie Most put up a post.
Donnie Most put up a post, and I'm trying to think of, and then I had toast. No, but so Donnie Most put up a post of him.
I'm not one to boast.
Yeah, I don't want to boast about Donnie Most, but he put up a post, and then I had toast.
On the coast.
And then I had a roast. But and the post was of him on set of a movie he's doing where he's dressed up like a king. So it caught my eye, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then the comments are there, and then this guy writes, hey, Donnie, remember me? Saying his voice.
Yeah.
Hey, Donnie, remember me? I saw you on the set of Happy Days. So Donnie wrote him back. Hey, man, great to see you on here. Thanks for stopping by, whatever. So then I'm like, who is this guy? Johnny Chow? So I click on it, and then I see Johnny Chow's profile, and the dude's like this older guy with 50 pompadour haircuts, and he's got like a leather jacket. He just looks very interesting. So then on his Facebook page is also his website. So then I went to the website, and I seen all the shit this guy did, and then I was like, fuck it. So I emailed him.
You're just like him.
Yeah.
Like he'd be like,
Yeah, then he calls me like instantly. Hey, how you get my number?
you put it on Facebook.
You called me, man.
Holy crap.
So I just interviewed him the other day for like a conversation type of thing. And he's one of those guys where you just throw out one question.
And they
And
just
then
off
you
and
sit
run
back
Yeah.
and just let him. And then I was this, and then I was over here, and then the chimpanzee, and Muddy Waters, we were fishing. And then he also was the manager of Hank Aaron for years. He's like, I was manager for Hank Aaron, and I'm the guy who got him the deal with Kentucky Fried Chicken. So it was me, Hank Aaron and Colonel Sanders, and we're marching for fucking peace. I'm like, what the kind of Forrest Gump shit is going on here?
Do you think it's all real? You think he's like a crazy person who escaped from like a facility?
I don't know, because now he wants me to help him work on his show. He's putting together a kind of a documentary for Netflix type of thing.
Do you have to take care of the monkeys?
Yeah, yeah. I need you to take care of the monkeys. He had to dress them. He goes. They gave me a credit card and sent me out to a store to buy the monkeys' clothes. Like, what? He's like, yeah. So I had to get a tape measure and measure these fuckers. He goes, and they're both for 2 different sizes. Then I had to go to the store. Now, you don't go to Walmart for Michael Jackson's monkeys. You know what I'm saying? So I spent $40,000 at these high-end stores.
Wow.
And then he's like, and the lady who sold me all this shit got a great commission. And she tells me, your kids are going to grow. I don't know why you're spending so much money on these outfits. And he says, honey, if you only knew, baby. But he also told me a story where he would take Michael Jackson out incognito. So Michael Jackson would be dressed up in a fake mustache and his weird hat, and they would go out. And then he said one time they had to stop at the bank to get money. And when they were there,
he probably had no idea how to even do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he was really childlike in like so many ways.
Yeah, and then you have like, Johnny Child's like, I look like this. He has the pompadour. Michael looks like he has the hat and everything, and his mustache started to fall off. He goes, and one of the ladies in the cashiers noticed the mustache falling off. He goes, next thing I know, they're surrounded by police. They thought we were there to rob the place.
Right.
So he's like, I had to pull the mustache off Michael, pull Michael's hat off, and I said, it's Michael fucking Jackson.
Michael, moon dance for him.
And Michael's just like, hee.
Dirty Diana.
So that's an interesting dude, and he's one of the few that asked to see my edit before I release it. So I'm like, all right. And then he also offered me possibly working on his show.
Oh, that's cool.
We'll see how all that pans out. But yeah, it's I love meeting interesting people like that guy, and I would love. He lives like a train ride away, I think upstate. He said he's willing to come in here anytime. I think you guys should help knock
That's
him
great.
dead.
Sure.
Dude, he is full of energy, man. And, and he plays a harmonica. And if you watch his stuff, he's been on tons of shows, like, I'd say during the 90s. Like, he's been on, like, remember Donnie Marie had that daytime talk show?
Oh, yeah.
He was on that. He was on, who else's show? He was on that guy George something. He's known for the suntan. He's known to be
George Hamilton.
He's was on his show.
Yeah,
So he's on all these shows, all these daytime shows of that era. So it's pretty trippy, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
George Hamilton. I'm going to look him up. That's somebody I want to get on this show.
Really?
George Hamilton. Sure.
Hey, he might do it.
You never know, right?
You never know. George Hamilton. I mean, what's he doing now?
Exactly.
He's just sitting somewhere bored, probably, and like.
Skin cancer, probably.
Yeah, he might. He's so known for his tan. Mm-hmm. Imagine that's what you're most famous for.
Your tan.
Tan.
How easy is that?
I think the tanning community is going to be in an uproar that he's appropriating like that.
Yeah, you figure the cancel culture would go after George Hamilton.
Yeah,
because he exploited the tan people.
Yes, he's trying. He's stealing their culture. By being tan in the bathing suit, and it's like, hey man, unless you have a surfboard, dude, you're appropriating. You're not real.
Wow. All right, what do you think?
Yeah,
it's been almost 2 hours.
Let's call it.
All right.
No David Tell.
No David Tell. But I was mentioning to Sallie, we're gonna say goodnight, but we were thinking maybe sticking around.
Yeah.
Maybe we can record something. Maybe we can get him in here.
Yeah.
Record 10 minutes with him. We'll air it during the week or something. George Hamilton is creepy, says Gina. Gina, have you ever met him on any of your husband's
I loved him
movies?
on that Dracula movie.
That was
Remember
a funny
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Love at First Bite? Was
Love
that
at First Bite. Yeah.
Fucking love that movie.
That was a funny
that was
movie.
a good one.
Yeah.
He was actually, he got kind of the tan and silly things like that. He became known for that, but he was actually a very good actor.
You don't cough that up easy, so he must be.
My mother, years ago, showed me some drama that he was in when he was just kind of starting out before he was a huge star, and he did a good job.
Yeah, I think he might have been like Oscar nominated and stuff in the early years.
Yeah,
because he has a long career before we got to know him.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think he even tried like a comeback as a serious actor because he was in Godfather 3.
Oh
But that movie was just such a mess that
let's not talk about
it hurt him.
Godfather 3.
Gina met him for 10 minutes at a rap party, but he always creeped me out. You know who else I'd like to get is we just saw him. He played the judge in Frank Langella. He's another one. I don't know why. He's another one I'd love to get on the show. I don't know why.
He's got to throw out the.
Well, if you have a feeling about it, you know.
I got to follow up with Kevin Pollak. I told you, right? He got back to me when I contacted him. I got to try and make that happen.
I met Kevin Pollak too. Hold on, so I got
another
my
great
photo album up.
Who else you got in that thing?
Bill Burr.
Nice.
What's his name? Doug Henson.
Oh
the
yeah,
lead
yeah.
guy. Bill Bellamy.
Bill Bellamy. Wow, I haven't seen him. Larry Miller. That guy. Larry Miller should be with the greats.
Yes,
why he's not known with the greats?
His 5 stages of drunkenness bit is legend. I got.
Is he still doing it?
He did stand up that night, and he did the 5 stages of drunkenness too.
Yeah.
So I'll show.
Larry Miller. You know who that is?
Larry.
He was the manager in Pretty Woman when she was.
I love him.
He's a great comedian,
he's great.
Hilarious guy.
Yeah.
Got Pauly Shore in here.
Yeah, who cares about him? Do you like him? Do you think he's funny?
Oh, he's funny.
No, but
I never liked him.
I think he. I don't think he's funny, but I think he matters because if you remember the '80s, you couldn't get away
MTV,
from him. The
yeah.
wheeze man, and how he reinvented a character that the world took by storm. He's kind of a phenomenon for a generation.
Sure, yeah.
And also his mom and his connection to comedy through that way. I mean, some of these legends.
Oh, his mom worked at.
His mom was
somewhere?
Mitzi Shore.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. There's me with Andy Dick.
Andy Dick. Wow.
That's why I think that he matters. Because look, it's me with a shirtless Gallagher. So don't ask why he's shirtless in there, but that's the great Gallagher. I don't know. Some people don't like Gallagher because he breaks
Gallagher.
watermelons, but he does way more than break watermelons.
Oh, he's great.
If you listen to his act, there's Louis Black.
Oh, nice.
David
Brenner.
Great Dave Brenner. There he is, your boy.
Kevin Pollak. He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, Kevin Pollak rocks. He's funny. That's still I'm looking at the delay. But yeah, Kevin Pollak, man, he rocks. And he's a great impressionist. A lot of people forget about all the impressions he does.
Nailed the best Shatner. I mean, everybody does Shatner, but he's
do
the
his
best
Shatner.
one.
That's when you know you're the best at the impression is when they do your version of it.
Yes.
Everybody does his version of Shatner. That's when you know that guy set it up. Like Bill Clinton, everybody was doing that's Reagan. Everybody they were doing Bill Clinton from Saturday Night Live, Bill Clinton.
Right.
That what's his face did?
Phil Hartman.
The late great Phil Hartman. So and then everybody does the George Senior as Dana. Yeah.
Hey Dave, how you
what's up,
doing?
Dave?
Want to come in?
He's like, he's smoking.
Should we give it like another 5 minutes? See if after the cigarette, maybe he'll come in.
Let's see if he pops in.
Sallie, go talk to him while he's smoking a cigarette. Should I do it? You want me to go out there?
Ask him if he wants to. What did the guy tell you? The plumber would come to the house. Go to the house.
Go to the house and fix her.
I'll tell him that story.
Yeah. So, I was going to say, why don't you go tell him to come in the house or something? But we'll see. I mean, it's tough. A guy like him. He hardly does any podcast. If you like.
Is that right?
I don't see him on like any of the other. Very rare. He'll show up on a couple of the guest digital guys shows, but he's not one of those regulars.
Yeah, right.
There's a lot of comics that are always on podcasts. He's not one of those. He's an older guard. He's an old guard dude. First time I saw him perform was at Eastside Comedy Club when he was
kidding.
He was a middle act.
Wow.
And after his set, it was when I was really like I've always loved stand up, but this is like when I was like starting to go to clubs and like holy shit, they're here. Like I can meet them.
Yeah.
And I saw him. And I said, dude, you were awesome, man. He's like, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate that. He was really super nice. Then I saw him again a couple years later at Toyota Comedy Festival in Manhattan, and Eddie Brill closed it. But right before Eddie Brill, he went on. And I was like, that's that dude again. So then I went up to him, and he signed me an autograph. I still have it. and it just says, "It was a pleasure to meet me." And
What do you do with all your autographs? Do you have like the autograph box or something?
I have
I
a
never
book.
ask for autographs, so like I was
don't
like,
either
like
anymore.
what would I even do with it?
Yeah, I used to. Now I like the pictures more.
Yeah,
So,
pictures
and
are
then
better.
when I got in the business with athletes and stuff, I don't always take posed pictures, but I like production shots. Like I like if you got a picture of me directing you. That's what I like. But what I keep them in a book. I have a big book full of all these signatures that I gotten through the years.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Pictures too, or just autographs?
autograph photos and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because back then too, like I was such a comedy nerd, I would write letters in fan clubs and shit, and they would send me stuff. And then when I started doing interviews for that book I was writing called The History of Cringe Humor, I would interview all these guys, and at the end of my wall of fame that I have in my house, which at the time I had I wanted to make it look like a comedy club.
Yeah.
And they would
That's
all
a
send
great
me,
idea.
They would all send me pictures. So I have like Mark Maron. Hey Don, great conversation. And this is before WTF. This is before.
Right.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So I got all these cool. I got a tie from Rodney Dangerfield.
kidding.
One of his red ties. He sent me a
Really?
red tie. It's signed. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool. I got a cool collection. I got all those greats, man. Because I just wrote a ton of, and they're all handwritten. Like.
Yeah. Right.
As like a stand.
I love you. I love you. I
Eminem,
love you.
That's how you wrote them like that.
I was just like, Dear George Carlin, I love you.
I
Send me a
really love you.
Yeah, I know where you live. See, I have your address.
I would
Because
love to
you're
be
reading-
your friend. Can we go hang out sometime?
If you're reading this, that means I know where you live. Wouldn't that creep you out?
Send me a picture, or I'll write another one tomorrow.
I would also test them out to see if people would read the letters. So, like, if it was somebody I didn't really like or whatever, or didn't, whatever, I would write a letter, but it would be insults, and then at the end of it, I'd be like, and send an autograph to this address. And I would still get so many autograph pictures because they don't read them. They just go right to the bottom. Okay, here's the kid's address. Send them the picture. And they didn't read that. I guess tore them, told them how bad I think they are. So it's these fun stuff. Things
Do not, and I mean do not send me a picture, and then you get a picture.
Yeah, exactly. But I have all the presidents.
If you send me a picture, you're a poopy pants, and you still get a picture.
You have presidents?
Yeah, you write the president. I didn't do it like in modern day. Like I don't have Obama or Trump. Or I don't have this guy now, Biden.
In
Or I was
modern
gonna say
day,
Harris.
I didn't do it in modern day.
I don't
what
have
does that
president.
even mean?
I mean, I have Reagan's.
Like, what part of your life did it become modern day?
I think that when I got in the business,
Reagan was was in the olden days,
Clinton was
and
the last
then
one.
Hey, Reagan was
Jimmy Carter was modern day.
Reagan was almost 40 years ago.
yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I got in I'll tell you when the modern day started for me was when I got in the industry, pretty much. Yeah, once I got in it, that's when I was like, I started to, and I saw that it was frowned upon in the industry. Like if you're on a set and you're shooting something, and then I go to the guy, hey, can I get an autograph? That guy will even look at you like, what?
Yeah.
You want what?
Yeah.
An autograph, and then you feel like an asshole, and then it's so frowned upon. People got fired for asking for this kid wanted his puck signed.
Sure.
And he was a worker, and he has his badge, and that's how he got access. And then he got fired. So yeah, once that happened, that's when I kind of turned the leaf on that stuff.
Right.
But yeah, I have I have Jimmy Carter.
So you just write the White House and they would send pictures?
Yeah, you just write them a letter.
Hey, Scott Crosby.
Tell them how good they are. You could do it right now. You could write a letter right now to Joe Biden, and I guarantee you will get a letter back.
I'm having problems.
And you will get an autograph or a picture of Joe Biden. I also got M&Ms once. They sent me a packet of White House M&Ms. I gave the box to my dad.
Wow.
Yeah, and they said they send you all this White House branded stuff.
All right.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I told my daughter to do this when she was in school, and she got a whole kit back from Michelle Obama at the time, was the first lady at the time, and it's this whole press kit.
Michelle Obama's not sending M&Ms.
No, but she sent the pictures of her.
She sent you
family.
broccoli.
White broccoli.
She's all anti.
She's all, yeah. She
Don't
sent
drink
you some
soda.
lettuce from her garden. You got basil.
You can write
You're like,
us.
it's weed. Oh, it's fucking basil from Michelle Obama.
You can write us, and we'll send you autographs.
Yes.
Because we know there's a lot of you out there.
The knockers.
The knockers.
Does anyone else hear Frank Sinatra?
Yeah, that's how they end the shows here.
Yeah.
Have you
Really?
not been
What's
here?
up, Will Sharon?
Yeah, Will Sharon's watching. Speaking
Yeah.
of great comedians.
Scott Crosby. What's up, everybody?
We're just stalling actually right now because David Tell went
Because
outside
David
to
Tell
smoke
went
a
out to
cigarette.
smoke a cigarette, and we're
So we're
hoping
waiting
that
for
he's
him to come
done.
back in
He
to
probably
see if we
just
can get
left
him
for the
in here.
night.
Well, no, he's doing a second show. All right, I'm going out to see if he's out there.
Go get him.
All right, Tony's gonna do it, folks. He's gonna
Dun,
bite the bullet and go out
dun,
there.
dun,
Just my
dun.
leg.
And
Which
bring
way
him
are you
in.
going? That way?
I'm going this way.
Okay.
All right, cool. Good luck, Tony.
Thanks. Thanks.
Tell him the ice cream story.
I want ice
Crosby
cream
says
so bad.
knockers.
Knockers. Scott
Yes.
Crosby is my oldest friend.
Really?
Yep.
Since when? Like how long? How far back?
God, I must have been 3. I don't
Wow,
know.
3
yeah.
years old.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably.
I don't know if I know anybody like friends wise since I was 3. You know, I got some old friends like Pete Soto. You met Pete.
Yeah.
I known him since I was 6.
Mm-hmm.
But 3, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, our parents were, like when parents are so close that you call them aunt and uncle even though you're not.
Yeah,
So it was like
yeah.
that. So we kind of grew up together.
Yeah, kind of like cousins.
Yeah.
Ah,
yeah.
that's cool.
So yeah, it was cool.
Does he live here on the island?
Yeah, he's in Huntington.
Ah, nice. Did he close the door? Thought I heard not.
In fact, when he walked out, I was thinking to myself, he's going to lock himself out.
Should I open
Yeah,
the
I'll
door?
go.
Okay. All right, just me, folks. All right. Yes, we're still standing by, waiting to see if we get David Tell on the show tonight. But I'm wide open for some comments. Let me know. Sally's back now.
Okay. I just opened it, and he's talking to him, so that's kind of good.
Yeah, very good. So we'll see
Yeah.
what happens. Hopefully he
I
comes
hope he
on.
comes in. What years did you ever watch? Yeah, forget it. What did he say? Well, tell us. So you went out and you said, Dave,
went out
please,
there.
please, please.
He's all in black. So I walked out.
So you thought it was Perel,
Yeah, Perel.
whatever his name is.
He's my brother from another mother. I tried to get him on the eyeliner thing.
So what'd you say?
So I walk out there, and I look to my left, I look to my right. I'm like, oh, fuck, maybe he did leave. All of a sudden I hear, what's up, man? Oh, like this. He's dressed all in black, and he's all, so to the left, he was all the way back.
Oh, he's
So I
all the
didn't
way in the
see him
back
at first.
corner.
So I swear to God, I went, and he goes, oh, sorry. He starts to laugh. I go, and I even said, Dave, I didn't see you there. Yeah. so then he waits, he's on his phone, so he just kind of waves. So now I'm like, all right, so what am I doing out here? Like, what am I going to do while he's on the phone?
Plus, you locked yourself
That's
out.
when you wish you
No,
smoked,
that was-
right? That's when you wish you had a cigarette.
So I went to the right, and then where our billboards are, our
Yeah.
signs, I just walked over that way. So I'm walking like in the deli parking lot, and
then he's on the phone going, all right, there's this guy.
Yeah.
He's on the
Well,
other
no.
side of the fence, and he's pretending like he's doing something, but I already
So-
know he's not.
Now I'm out of sight. So I stood there for a second. So I head back, and he's off the phone. So I go. So sure enough, as I'm walking, he looked in the door, and then he let it go, and he closed it. And in my head, I'm like, fuck, he just locked us out. So I'm like, now what the fuck do I do if I get me and him and we're locked out? So I didn't say anything. I just walked over. I knocked on the door, and he goes, "Oh, did I just lock us out?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Oh, sorry." I said, "No
But you
problem."
know
I
you
said-
could make up for that.
Well, I go, "No problem." I said, "Somebody let us right in." I go, "But hey, we're in the studio there doing a live podcast. You feel like coming in?" He goes, "No, I don't know about that." I said, "Oh, sorry." I said, "No problem." I said, "I just thought I'd ask." He goes, "No, that's cool." He goes, "What are you doing?" He goes, "You on Sirius?" I'm like, "No, just govsradio.com." He goes, "I don't know." He said it again. He goes, "Yeah, but is it serious?"
Yeah, but
I
you should say like it's Governor's radio
Well, that's
station.
what I said. That's what I said the second time. I said, "No, it's Govs. It's our own thing. Govsradio.com."
Oh, okay, good.
And then he said, "He goes, oh, that's really cool." I said, "Yeah, it is cool."
Cool enough to come on, Dave.
And he goes, "I'm really sorry, though. I don't think I'm going to do it."
All
I
right.
said, "Really?" I said, "There's no problem at all." I said, "But
Yeah,
we're all
no
big
big deal.
fans." I said, "But we're all big fans." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Thanks, man. I appreciate it." We did a fist bump.
Oh, that's nice. I'm
So
glad
I-
you got that.
So I go, "How was it the first show tonight? Good?" He goes, "Yeah, you too." With that, I heard, I don't know who opened the door, but I heard.
Me.
Oh, was you? Thanks. So I heard that. So I just said again, I said, "All right, have a good night," and I came in.
You
Yeah.
should have asked him for his autograph just because.
Yeah, just because we were talking about
That
it.
would have been great if he came back with it.
It would have said "fuck off." It would have said.
Yeah.
Without his name.
Yeah.
Without his name, just would have said "fuck off."
It's funny because like we were actually I was watching YouTubes of him the other day, like just in case he came on, just kind of like refresh and stuff.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I remember him on the Daily Show. Did you ever watch the Daily Show?
Yeah.
So, but it was funny because like I never watched the Daily Show until I had my firstborn, and he was born like the year 2000. And I remember like being up like all night long, like all freaking night, and turning on the TV, and like the Daily Show was on. It was like it seriously like got me through it. You know, that whole
cool.
like first year of craziness.
You know what? I wanted to ask him what was like to host the. He used to host the AVNs.
Yeah, the porn stuff.
The porn awards. Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask
That's
him.
what you
was
wanted
that
to
like?
ask him. Here
Yeah.
I'm telling like
You
a
ever have
sweet
a
little
dildo in
baby
your
story.
ass? How many dildos you have in your ass? That's my David Tell impression.
Is that what that was?
That's how I do.
I thought it was the guy who was like trying to find the chimps on Michael Jackson. I'm like, I was like, back to that
I
again.
had to talk them down slowly. Those fuckers were crazy. They had their eye on my penis. I thought they were gonna try to rip it up.
I was like, relax. This guy has this much energy, and he could only stay up. He's taking care of his 90-something-year-old grandmother or mother in the house.
Oh wow!
So he like when I first was trying to set up the interview, I always try to set the interview up for like after 6 p.m. when I'm done with my day job.
Sure.
But he's like, hey, sorry, pal, I can't do that. I go to bed early. My mother's 95. I take care of her. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta do it like 10 a.m. I'm like, holy
10
shit.
a.m.
Like in the middle of my fucking like.
Yeah, that's in the middle of your day.
Yeah,
you have weird hours already.
Yeah, I got weird hours because I'm dealing with people all over the you know, like
The country.
because we all
Or the
whole
world.
company.
The whole world.
Yeah, so it's very strange, but I put the hours aside and I did it and I got him on and it took me a while just to teach him Zoom, and it's weird this deep into this shit.
Having to teach Zoom to someone.
Now it's like, dude, I've had these conversations last March.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
now here we are. And this guy's like, I can't see myself in the fucking thing. What's going? I go, you have to hit the camera.
Hit the camera.
He's like, yeah, I'm looking at the camera. It's got a big red X through it. Yeah, click it.
Oh my goodness!
Then he clicks it. He's like, oh, holy shit! You see me? I see you. Hey. So it's all that kind of stuff. That guy was a trip, man.
And then if you don't tell them not to touch anything, they hit the mute. They always like
Yeah,
you like
yeah, yeah.
now don't touch anything anymore. You can tell, and you can see them coming to the camera.
There's a part in this interview with this guy where I asked him a question. It was right around the time we finally get into Michael Jackson stuff, and then I said, "You couldn't have passed this thing up because he was, he wasn't a chef. He knew nothing about dietary or any of that stuff, like how to put a proper diet in place."
He knew not to eat chicken fingers. That was it.
Yeah, right.
That was his claim to
So I was
fame.
like, you didn't want to blow it, right? So then he just stops. He just looks at me. He goes, "I gotta pee. Listen."
Oh my god!
He's like, listen, because he's staring at me for like there's a long awkward pause.
Yeah.
I felt like, did I say something offensive to the guy?
Right.
Hey, I gotta pee. Listen, he's like, give me a minute, okay? So now I'm sitting there and I'm listening, and then
And
I
you're
hear
like, dun,
you can
dun,
like
dun.
literally hear the toilet flush and everything.
Yeah.
And then I hear him, "You all right, Ma?" "Yeah, I'm all right. All right, I'm doing this interview. It's going really good."
Aw,
And
that's
he goes,
cute.
Yeah, then he goes, "All right, I'm coming over there now." So then he comes back with a monkey puppet, like and
What?
and then he called it, Michael Jackson's original chimp was called
Bubbles.
Bubbles.
He calls this one Troubles. He's like, "Hey, it's Troubles," and he starts doing this whole fucking thing. And then for like,
And you're like, hey, your mother's calling you.
yeah, I should have done that. Instead, I had to fake, like.
It's never going to go well when they bring the puppet.
But that guy was great, though, man. I really like that guy. Had a great time. Like I said, I urged you guys to have him on.
Yeah, well, not
I
after
would
that.
actually love that. I would
Oh,
love
if he
that.
brings the monkey puppet, I will tell him too.
I would
Bring the
love
monkey puppet.
that. Wow.
Oh, that's so funny.
All right.
All right, let's get out of here.
All right. So everybody have yourselves a great rest of the weekend. Sallie and I will see you Monday morning at 11 a.m. for the Knock 'em Dead Comedy Radio Show. We have a special guest Monday. Tom Sanfilippo. He was on our show a few weeks ago. He's a great musician. He's going to play. He has a special announcement. That's why he's coming in again. So we're looking forward to that. You can see Don Tuesday morning at 9:30 for Top Fives.
Good one today. This time.
Yeah. Is this a Joe Curry one?
This is Joe Curry. Yep. And then so Joe Curry this week we talk about the top 5 comedians that moved comedy forward.
Ooh.
So it's a lot of fun. We get into a lot, man. We talk about a lot of guys.
That's cool. And Joe Curry's great,
Yeah, man. And then I got on deck Frank Liotti.
Nice.
Did him. Didn't do him.
Well, he would like that.
I had a great top 5 with him about the top 5 gay comedians, and that went really good. And I urge everybody to watch that one because a lot of comedy fans may not know about this whole
Yeah, it's got to be
subculture.
really interesting.
Yeah, subculture.
There's a lot of them, yeah.
Yeah. And then, so that's good stuff. So
you can see Don again Wednesday night, right? This week returning, right? Don and Benny Against the World returns?
I believe we're returning Don and Benny Against the World, and that should be another fun one, and we'll see how that goes. I might actually show some of this Johnny Chow interview on that.
Excellent. All right. So again, Sallie and I will see you Monday morning at 11 a.m. Then all three of us will see you here next week on the Live from Governor's Green. Who's playing next week? Do we know?
Not 100% sure.
Yeah, I don't know if